and welcome everybody. It's TCH Live Thursday edition. That means it's time for some 2-5 No Limit Texas Hold'em with your host Aaron McAvoy here, as always, on Thursday nights. And joining me tonight, along with the usual super producer Carolyn, we got Steam Dola. What's going on, my man?
What is up, Mr. AA Ron? Been a while.
It has, my good friend. So good to have you back in the booth. I know you've been traveling around, playing some cards up in the Vegas areas, and just having a good time all around the world, perhaps. Maybe just the country. I don't know. You'll have to fill me in. But right now, we got ourselves a bomb pot happening here. It looks like a $10 PLO bomb pot, and Anderson here can go ahead and bet $50. Let's take a look at these hands and see what we're working with. Anderson's got nut hearts, so he is going to put out a bet of 50 here. That is 1/3 pot size bet. Sorry, no, half pot. Let's see here. Justin, he's got trip 4, so he's going to put in the call. And now Dante here trying to figure out what he wants to do with king high hearts and pretty much nothing else. So yeah, he's going to go ahead and get out of the way. I think that's just fine. And heads up to a turn, we're going to go. So taking a look around the table, we got some familiar faces. We got Jay Wynn over there next to Anderson. Justin, of course, and I know we've got a couple other familiar faces. Sammy in the mix, and Dante. Let's see here. So we got check on the turn and check on the river. So heart's going to be no good. The trip 4s with the 6 kicker are going to take it down. Justin going to ship that PLO bomb pot and ship himself up to 1.1K. So as per the usual, it is a 1K capped start and match the stack after that. So we'll see the chip stacks are growing as the night continues on. And taking a look there at the chip counts. Pretty much everybody here buying in. In fact, everybody buying in for the full 1,000. So we'll see some nice stacks growing here tonight, bud.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's going to want to play deep tonight.
All right. Playing deep here. That's the way we do it here in Texas.
Insta-straddle. That's how we do it.
That's right. So Anderson going to go ahead and drop the $10 straddle there, and we'll take a look around. I know we've got a couple of new faces here joining us this evening. And if you are thinking about coming in, playing on the live stream, would like to be a new face on the program, go ahead and reach out to us. Let us know. TCH Live List at TexasCardHouse.com, or you can text us 512-843-1971. That information scrolling along the bottom of the screen for the duration of the program. So reach out to us. Let us know when you're going to be in town, and we'll do our best to get you in the mix. Raj here going to go ahead and limp the King 10 of Hearts. And Jason here going to go ahead and squeeze this up with 3s. I guess it's not necessarily a squeeze. Just going to raise this up from the early middle position, as this was an UTG 1 limp, and it is just going to be.
Oh my what a monster flop! All right, starting off on the right foot here. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, going to go ahead and just raise it up with the 3s, flop a full house, and have your opponent flop top trips.
Yeah,
so
that's a spicy one. This is going to be really hard for Raj to avoid Stackisher here, I think, unless he improves.
Or, yeah, maybe a club peels off and slows down the action. But this is going to go check, bet 35, and Raj looks to be going for a raise here. Indeed, these are definitely raising chips, and Jason can't believe his eyes. He's like, really? You want to raise me on this board? This is what I like. This is what I want. Check raise to 150. Pot now up to 300. Both of these players starting with $1,000. So Jason now like, how do I get all the money in? I guess this should be pretty easy, given the fact that this pot is already up to 300. Jason confirming that Raj did indeed buy in for 1,000. I believe that's the case.
What do you think here? Just call here and let him barrel off.
Oh, 100%. No reason to raise now. Because if your opponent is doing this with a flush draw, which if they're going to be balanced, they're definitely going to do this with some flush draws. You don't mind if they get caught up and you're in position, so you really can't lose out on turn action by having them slow down and check it. So yeah, absolutely like the call there from Jason, and Raj now fully convinced that he has the best hand. Going to continue going for what he thinks is value. Pot now 417. Raj going to go ahead and bet out.
Snap moved all in here.
So Raj bet 400, and then Jason raised to all in.
Okay, so
and
there's some
lost it.
confusion about whether this is an all-in and a call, or whether or not Raj has moved all in. Okay, no, we're just getting the action tracker caught up here. Raj bet
Okay.
400, so Jason moves in for a min click, and now Raj presumably has called.
Yeah, the burn.
Yeah, Jason was about to turn his hand over, but there was some maybe issue about whether or not. Oh my God!
No. Wow. And
Oh!
spike it on the rib.
Wow. Okay, so we got that all sorted out, and then all of a sudden we just get a turn card after they did confirm all the money is in and just grip it and rip it. So no chance for Jason to get half the pot. Raj just takes it right there on the river. Wow. All right.
It's a good first hand.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Cool. A little bit of a cooler there, but wow.
My goodness.
Fill
All
it up.
right.
So don't count it, just show it.
So yeah, I mean that was pretty spicy and really unfortunate for Jason there, obviously, to flop a hand that strong against your opponent who is going to put all the money in, and basically you're just like, I mean, we saw it, like 77% on the flop is something like 86 on the turn.
Yeah, in that configuration, when you flop bottom boat, you know, they're so weighted towards those top trips, and they're never going to get away from it. Unless the club peels on the turn, something slow it down, like you said.
Yep.
That queen of spades was all the money always getting in.
Yeah.
But sometimes you run bad. That's the game.
Yeah, brutal spot there for Jason. Great spot there for Raj, who was looking to get himself stacked and then found a way out to get the double up. So that is the great game of No Limit Texas
Let's see
Hold'em
if
here.
we're going to get some add-ons here, Aaron. What do you think?
Well, Jason has already added on up to 2Ks, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's got 4 pink chips there. We will get the stacks updated as players do add on. I know that there are several players that usually will do so once someone gets up over the 1K mark. But yeah, so throughout the evening we are going to try to get in a little bit of some table audio. So from time to time we will try to bring that in and out and see how we can do with getting some of the conversation in the mix. Let's see here. We got a raise to 30 here from Justin after a limp from Raj.
Can someone break this?
Jason's like, I call with a $500 chip. He's going to need to make some change.
Oh, it's a scary call.
Yeah, you see that big old pink chip go bam. Now, just a call for 30 bucks. That's some folding hands.
Suited one gapper here. Let's see how he plays.
JL, he's going to come in for the call in the cutoff. JL, one of the newer faces to the stream, I do believe. Alex has played with us a couple of times here recently. He's going to get out of the way. And now Anderson here, just going to get his change. As Raj going to go ahead and complete this with the 5s after he finishes making change.
I like playing with a big messy pile like that. Isn't that fantastic?
Well, it is nice when you have that big messy pile because you just get to, like, you know.
Yeah, I'll call wherever.
Slowly.
I got a pink chip in here. There's a couple black chips in here somewhere. Just throw them in there.
And now he's like, wait, how much is it? Is it one of these and one of these? Yes, it is.
Usually, like, that's like a heater sign, so he's probably going to flop a set here. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. No, when you're playing with the giant, just messy pile in front of you, yeah, you usually are on the beginnings of a heater. Well, let's see. Ace-7 here. Justin going to flop 2 pair, but JL going to flop the flush.
With the gutter to the straight flizzle as well.
The straight flizzle. Straight flizzle, y'all. Raj and Jason both with under pairs to the board and no club in hand. They should be finding their way to the exit here before long. But Justin, he's going to go ahead and put out a 80% pot size bet, 3/4 here at least, with $100 going in. JL in position, just going to play this as a flat call, not going to go for the raise. And there's a 6 on the turn that would have made a set for one of our players that bowed out. They still would not be good, but would have improved. Might be feeling a little bit salty about that fold. Justin here. Now going to continue going for value. You can get value from a lot of hands here. Ace with kicker, a big kicker that's got a club in it, something like an ace jack, jack of clubs, something like that. Maybe even like ace jack. That's just like no, like you could be betting all sorts of stuff. Maybe one club type holdings. And I'm going to hold on for the duration. Justin bets 200. into a pot that had gone up
I think
to
you bet a little
like
over
300
half pot.
something.
Yeah, a little over half pot and gets JL to go all in.
Okay.
Yeah, now Justin gonna make the call and looking to find one of the last remaining outs in the deck. He's got 1 ace, 1 7. That's not one of them. Unless they've run it twice, that is going to be JL taking it down. In fact, that is a rip. So back-to-back hands of all in and double ups.
That's quick way to get extra money on the table and play a big game here. I think that's what we wanted to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not what Justin wanted to see, but that's what we wanted to see.
Yes. All right, let's try fading in the table audio here, and let's see if we got any chatter going on about these last two hands that have gone down. Please do let us know in the chat how that all comes through for you guys. We would appreciate your feedback, as we always do on audio and other features.
Adding
black, yeah, sure, I'll
Keep
take
us up to date on what you guys
For that
think.
black 9, I thought I was going to win like a spinner or something. T-shirt.
Thank you.
TCH Live Thursday edition.
Yeah,
To get another hand and maybe another
Justin,
all
how much are you
and another
paying?
double.
Might be in orbit.
No.
We shall see. Taking a look back here at the chat. We got
10
Nick from Yuma joining us here. What's going on, buddy?
Oh,
Lawrence, Jedi Master Ted. What's going on, guys?
whatever I had.
Megan,
Adding 10.
Alex Relly's hidden chips.
Actually,
Scorchy Speak.
No, because I added the 2
Oriole.
pinks from
Ivan.
there.
Oh, can you change the
Captain Underpairs.
It's like
15, 16.
1630, 1640 exactly.
You're
They
absolutely
ran out of things.
still working on trying to figure out how to do.
You're that guy.
Is that wait? Is that
we
including
still
the white
have
checker?
Am I that
Sorry, I
guy?
didn't even see those. 8.
1648.
Carlos took more dollars.
And Jalen's adding 1,000. All right, big blind,
I'm
please.
I'm adding 1,000 as well, Carlos. I'll add 1,000.
Okay, Alex
Nice,
is
I
adding
like
1,000
it.
as well.
Everybody's getting in there.
Did somebody else say they're adding
Yeah, I
1,000? Johnny's adding
Straddle.
1,000 as well.
There's a straddle.
Live 10. Players checks on live. Fold. 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 Raise to 40. Raise to 175. Fold. Fold.
All right. Well, we got a hand developing here as we've got a raise with a couple of 9s. Alex going for the 3-bet, and I guess that's going to be the end of it as JL not looking to defend against the 3-bet.
Surprising 2K deep, not going to defend with 9s. We don't know JL, right? So
Yeah, JL, a newcomer to the stream, and he did make, Alex did make this a very large 3-bet. I think this was an open to 35 on a $10 straddle, and it looked like 175 or 180 out there. So that is a very sizable 3-bet, I would say. However, perhaps all the more reason to go for the set mine with the 9s. I don't know. I mean, like you said, they're deep. You could try to, you know, if you flop your set, you could definitely get paid off.
get paid. That's the value of sets as they go up with the deep stack. So peel that maybe if you're only 900 deep, you can let that go. Only 2K, 3K, then you can make a nice big profit when you smash it. But I think 9s is up in that range of kind of seeing more flops, and say if it's 5s or 6s, you can let that go pretty easily. But we'll see. Maybe JL is a little on the tighter side as he getting himself used to the stream here.
Yeah, and I mean, at the same time, with a raise that large, I mean, these players are still trying to figure each other out, right? We're on hand like hand 4 or something.
Yeah, I guess he didn't want to go all in that hand. You know?
Yeah.
we're already in that the stream of 3 in a row.
Yeah, he just got those chips. He doesn't need to put them all in the middle again. So there you go. All right, we do have Steam Dola here in the booth tonight. Nick from Yuma asking who's joining me here tonight. So there you have it. And yeah, so we got a pretty good show here in store tonight, I do believe. And once again, we are going to be trying to bring the audio in and out from the table. So please do let us know how you guys like that. But as we get a flop here, Raj going to flop a gutter. Jay win. Up and down, straight draw. Johnny still has the best of it with pair 2s. Didn't quite catch the pre-flop action. However, all of these players are sitting on 2K. And checks to Johnny, who's going to go ahead and bet his deuces on this flop. So presumably he was opened UTG and just had these players call. Jay Wynn not going anywhere with the up and down straight draw, although some of his outs are going to be a little bit tainted. Perhaps a 9 or an ace of hearts will be a little bit tough to work with. He is going to make a pair.
I'll probably let go of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the king 9
Any of the
just
best are
failed
king
out.
cards, you know. I guess I want to play that in a position.
Yeah, a little bit tough to peel there maybe, but closing the action. If you think it might be
I would
good.
have called.
Yeah. yeah, we're like, yeah, I'd probably still be in there with that hand, but that's the way it goes.
Hey, Ed, we
He's
also
doing
turn
well.
AC down.
Johnny going to go ahead and check now. Jay Wynn in position with the turned pair of tens. This isn't a card that I would be betting for sure because you have some marginal showdown value, and you're never getting a better hand to fold, right? Even like a jack is probably not going anywhere just yet. So a little bit interesting spot to go for a bet. Jay Wynn does probe after Johnny checks it over, and Johnny's just going to go ahead and fold. And that'll be the end of it, though. So there you go.
Yeah, it's a good spot when you have the straight draw with it as well. Just
King on the river.
if you improve on the river, you can go for some value, and otherwise just check. Maybe once in a while be good with a 10.
You can do it?
Yeah.
Like you said, you're not getting value on that turn bet.
I don't drink.
So you could potentially get value from someone who gets a little bit sticky with the hand, like one of those small pairs or middling pairs with a heart. But like, I'm not going to target that, right? Like, I'm just going
That's very thin.
yeah, I'm just going to check back. Yeah, because like all the jacks and queens of the world call, and then you just are like flying blind on the river. Like, they're still uncapped. I don't know what I have. Pair of tens, is that good? Maybe? Question mark. All right, Johnny here can open it up to 25 under the gun, and
For that right.
JL here. No, not JL. I think
want
this
y'all doing
is
nothing
Alex.
improper.
So I think the action
Want to hear no
tracker
slurping
needs
with y'all
to
two in the bathroom.
get caught up here.
That'd be weird.
Unless I'm mistaken, perhaps JL did throw that up there. No, this is from Alex. Yeah, Alex. Go ahead and put that out. Yeah. So JL not in the hand. Alex is. So keep that in mind as we go off to this Queen 5-3 2 diamond flop.
Oh, I got fireball.
Johnny here gonna check his diamond draw. Justin with a pair of 7s. Got JL here still registered as the player betting, but this is Alex, and potentially, right? Like, I mean, this shouldn't be his hand, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't remember what we had up on the screen there momentarily for Alex because it was shown as his hand folded. But he is going to continue betting. Johnny will go for the check call. Check on the turn. Off to a river we go. 7 of diamonds. That's going to make a flush for Johnny. Nut flush there. And if Justin had been in, he would have rivered a set of 7s that would have been no good. There we go. All caught up. Alex with the ace tray of hearts. So give us just a moment as we get everything dialed in here, caught back in. And thank you guys for joining us. Taking a look here, we got 244 of you fine folks joining us. 25 likes on the counter, so we're off to a nice little start here. If you aren't subscribed, please do click that button. Make sure that you are all up to date on when this program goes live in the future, so you can hang out with us each and every time we go live, which is 6 nights a week here on TCH Live. All right, we've got everything caught up, and Alex had turned the heart draw. Johnny with the front door diamond draw coming in on the
Y'all got
river
dial up in here or what?
as we had check back call, and then I think it went check on the turn. So picked up the equity, but decided not to bet. A little bit curious from Alex there. Maybe like, I guess the ace high has enough equity and don't want to get check raised. I'm not exactly sure what the approach was there, but it is going to be a diamond on the end. Johnny will make the nut flush. He'll bet for value, 400.
Have a pair.
About 3/4 pot. And Alex, who has a pair of 3s. The ordering of those cards is not correct. 7 of diamonds came on the river, but
You're allowed to show a bluff,
a pair of 3s. Not going to be good enough
In
to
the
call
contract.
400 there on the end. I think that's right. And he's going to fold. And there you have it. Johnny going to take that one down. Mike Youngblood, the way. What is up, my man?
What's up, Mikey?
Thanks for joining us, buddy. Good to see you. And let's see here. Yeah, Hillbilly in the house. War Eagle. What's going on, dude? JTN 1968 in the hizzy. What's going on, brother? Thank you guys for joining us. And we look forward to all of the rest of the regulars as well as the new faces trickling on in the chat here for the rest of the program. As we've just gotten started, we've already had 2 players double up here in the first couple of hands, so everybody's sitting on 2K if they want it, and a few players have definitely taken that option to add on, so very deep stacks here right off the get-go. Jay Wynn, he's got the 6 tray. He's oh, I thought he was raising.
No,
I was
I
like,
know.
hey,
Come
he's
on,
gonna
man.
play like some Jay stack up in here.
The stack lessons, 6 tray, offsuit, any position, unlimited raises.
Yeah. I mean,
Flop it.
Jay Wynn is partial to the 4-3,
Yes.
or the 4-3, not the 6-3.
That's true.
But didn't have it on that one. He had the J stack and isn't going to go for it. We've got JL and Jason. Battle of the Jays here.
Jason note the 3-bet out of the small blind with queen 5 suited. Is that a little? I mean, I like hitting those. Maybe like queen 7 or king 7 suited as a squeeze. A small blind. What do you think about queen 5? Is that getting a little too loosey goosey?
Well, so this was just a limp from JL from early middle position. So queen 5 suited is going to be like pretty borderline. But if you're implementing a strategy where you treat all limps as basically folds and they just don't exist, which is a little bit, like squint at it, you probably shouldn't do that. But if you do take that strategy, then queen 5 is going to be a fine open from the small blind. So I don't think it's bad. But when you do have someone limp from early middle position, I think there's enough like strength from those hands that like your squeezes are oftentimes going to get called. People are going to find like some weird things like Jack 9 suited,
Well, you
Queen
need to
10
get-
suited,
you need to
pocket
get the
pairs.
blinds, the big blind, the straddle, and the limp. So there's a lot of hands to get it through there.
What I find happening very frequently is unless my squeeze is very large, like go for an 8x squeeze or something, right? Like it's almost always just like fold, and then whoever limped it
yeah,
just
they
calls,
just-
like
they have
always.
to.
And then I play the rest of the hand out of position
Yeah,
against
yeah.
whatever the hell that is.
Exactly. Yeah, that large size works.
We're getting a little bit of feedback here from our good buddy Mike Youngblood. He says that Steam Dola could be louder, but that my audio is good. So we'll get.
I can speak more from the chest cavity into it.
Well, now I think your volume's been turned up, so maybe you don't chest cavity us into deafness. But thanks for that feedback there, Mike. And as with everybody else, please do let us know how everything's going on. Ryan Crow joining us here in the chat. Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us. And indeed, letting us know that our producers are working on how to balance the sound at the table with the commentators. We will be going in and out on that. And yeah, next hand we're going to get some table sound going. As I think we've got a spicy one coming on in for you. But yeah, please do let us know how you like that, and we'll do our best to fade everything in and out. As we've got Jason here going to go ahead and flop top 2. Sammy, second pair, and Dante missing this one pretty much by a mile. Sammy sticking around for a turn card, however. Ace on the turn. Jason will continue going for value with his 2 pair. Probably send Sammy for the exit. All right, Mike Youngblood saying the Steam Dola sounds good now. Excellent, very good for that.
Wow.
And yeah, shout out to our newest producer joining the crew, David. So
Perhaps
hitting
that was
all
some sort
the
of racial
equalizer
profiling
buttons and pushing those buttons, turning those dials, making sure we get all of this stuff sounding nice for y'all. So yeah, let's go ahead and get a little bit of table talk here for this next hand. Sounds like we got a good one.
And then you got people, I mean, it was more San Francisco, so it was the opposite part of the state. Yeah. You got people mugging in all the retail stores. Yep. Yeah. So you play a lot.
Call. Raise to 40. Fold, fold. Fold.
Call.
Call. Fold, fold. Fold. Call. Can you give me white, please?
Sure.
Call. Thank you. Oh my god. Thank you. It's for white?
Yeah. I'd say all day.
Yeah, I usually do it like last Thursday.
Four
It's
thirty?
5 a.m.
Last night?
No, last Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
After the stream.
Yeah. How's the stream last weekend?
I lost
Or last week?
2,500. It was a bad week. I turned it
Gotta
around.
get action and to get action.
Yeah. Like the stream last week, the beef was
Who's the
40%.
big
That-
winner last week?
Uh,
The VPIP was 40%
last week.
Yeah. Too many, too much really?
No, I think I was just getting a lot of like marginal good hands.
Yeah, right. And kind of forced to call it a little bit.
Forced to call a lot, forced to open light, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alex did pretty good, but there was another guy that did better, like
Who's the big winner last week?
Jeremy. Jeremy.
Jeremy and
He wound up losing it all.
Yep, to Victoria afterward. Victoria, like that. Victoria. Oh, the dude.
Lifetime.
The guy who's got it first after that.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, wow.
All right, well, that was an interesting hand right there. So we had JL limping the ace-king under the gun, and then after the raise from Alex next to act with ace-king, comes back around with 2 calls in between, and JL doesn't go for the back raise. That's definitely what we both were sort of thinking there.
Playing it a little close to the chest there.
Yeah, so oftentimes, you know, and players that have been watching this program for a while will notice that there's some tricky players, and people will go for the limp and then the back raise is what it's called. So you come in for the limp under the gun or under the gun +1 with a hand like an ace-king. Somebody else raises, comes back around to you, and then all of a sudden you spring the trap. You come in for that re-raise, that
One
3
way to
bet.
protect your limps, right? If you want to be a player that has open limps, you got to be able to have that back raise in their minds. You know, when they're like we were talking about that small blind open, the queen 5. But if you're someone that limps and sometimes has that big 4x back raise coming, then they might not do that open. Might be able to get away with limping.
Yeah, for sure. Nick from Yuma, forget
Listen,
the table
Nick,
audio.
I got prosciutto for you today. Today I got a nice meatball parm sandwich. All right, we're gonna use ciabatta bread, okay? What do you want?
Oh man, I hope you brought some because you're gonna make me hungry.
I did not go to the restaurant today. I was avoiding it.
Oh.
I'll be there all day tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
Monday.
All right. Well, if anybody wants to go hang out with Steam Dola, get yourself delicious Italian food, head on down to Steam Dola's tomorrow. All right. To Steam Dola's, to Mandola's.
I mean,
you need your own
Dude,
restaurant. Just call it Steam Dola's.
We need to branch it out. You know, I was already talking to Mr. Mandola about it. Listen, we need a little small version ccalled Steam Dolas. There's a card room in the back, you know.
Yeah. Or the restaurant's in the back, the card room's in front.
You know what it is.
All right, Jay Wynn here going to flop the best of it with second pair. Johnny here with a gutter to the king high straight. Also has 2 overs, along with Dante 2 overs. Check from Jay Wynn. Johnny going to go ahead and bet at this. 40 into a pot of just about 100. Dante going to stick around with the 2 over cards here. Back over to Jay Wynn. Kind of an odd spot to be in when you have a bet and a call, and you're sitting on a hand as marginal as second pair here. With the backdoor equity, I think it's not unreasonable to peel one off, but for that price in particular. But also, I think the fold is pretty
Yeah,
standard.
it's gonna be hard to play, unless you only, you know, if you smash a turn, you stick around. Otherwise, you're just getting out of there every other way. Yeah, there's some tricky spots.
Yeah, and as it stands, I don't think the 6 of hearts would have been inspiring enough, even though it would have given Jay Wynn some additional equity. He would have probably needed to turn his hand into a bluff, and it would have been a weird kind of dynamic with the 2 players behind to do that. So, yeah, definitely think that's the right play. And there you have it. So, taking a look at the chip counts, Johnny up at the top, 2.3K, and a bunch of other players sitting right around in that area. So, there you go.
We're at the win, $400.
J. Robin Stacks here says the limp back raise. Ah, yes. Turn your hand face up. Well, so for a lot of players, I do think that their limp back raise range is a little bit too narrow, and it's just like always aces or ace king. But I have seen some players do it with some pretty funky stuff as well, to where I've been like, man, I do not know what this guy's doing this with.
Right, and it's a line that, you know, you don't normally see balanced. So when someone does balance it, it's like what's going on here? Like, what do I do?
Yeah, no, and usually I haven't seen people balance it with like you know, ace 3 suited, right? It's usually like pocket 7s or something
Yeah.
bizarre where it's like, well, I was going to limp this and just kind of see what happened. But now because 3 people called that guy's raise or whatever, like now I'm going to go for this funky back raise squeeze that just is like, what? With 7s?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, good for you. But yeah, Dante here going to open the hijack, ace 8 offsuit. He's just going to take it down. But oh, nice, Nick from Yuma. He's putting me in the laugh camp with Big Daddy Chad.
That's a high quality laugh camp right there. Chaz got a beautiful laugh.
Yeah, and Mike's diabolical rendition of it that he has on the soundboard is pretty ridiculous, but I love it.
You're not gonna believe this.
All right, into the next hand here as Jay went. Quite pleased to hear what someone is saying down on the other end of the table.
I'm not kidding.
You're famous.
I was like,
Get some
all
folds.
right, it's cool.
Raj,
Almost
This
every
one that
game,
you got,
someone
yeah.
recognized me or Jason.
Your wife has a name.
and
Oh yeah.
JL here, he's got a hand that he's with him. He will take some 10.
It freaked everybody else at the
Hearts.
table. Like,
Bunch of blackjack hands here. Such nonsense. Back over to Raj. He's going to limp under the gun and call. The A7 offsuit. So heads up to a flop here. Mike Youngblood. DementedChaz.mp3. That's the sound file for Demented Chaz. That's fantastic. What do we got here?
Eight of
Jack,
spades on the flop.
8-8, yeah. Team Dola 8 of spades here. Isn't going to do anything for either player, so Raj just going to go for the check fold. And JL will take it down with a C-bet. So on to the next hand we go. So so you went out to Vegas, you did some table gaming, some poker playing.
We did a little bit of everything out there. I mean, we've been, I'll tell you, the restaurant's been extra busy, so we've been over there a lot since the vaccines, everyone, the mask came off, all that stuff. People have been going out like crazy, so we've been really busy. Snuck out to Vegas to do some DJ, baccarat, and roulette, and craps and poker. So we dumped all poker winnings into the casino, which is good because then they offer you free stuff. You know, so
Oh yeah, no,
that's the best part.
It's the best return on investment that you can get.
It's like, oh man, this $5,000 room is fantastic, even though it's probably only $100. But you know,
Well, in your mind, you could just make
yeah,
it a 5,000.
justify it.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. So, Johnny here going to go ahead and raise this up. Ace King offsuit, UTG2, 75 bucks. Jay Win on the button. Going to come in for the 3-bet with 6s. This is unique. I'd say you don't see this very often. And Johnny now, Ace King. Is he going to play this as a flat call? Yes, he will.
Yeah.
Out of position with the flat call. Interesting. So, Johnny going to play this one at the discretion of Jay Win's aggression, and that is a much better flop for Johnny, his hand in particular, that is. Jay Win still with the best of it with a pair of 6s, but he is not going to feel very inspired by the 2 black 6s that he holds. This is maybe like a textbook case of why 3-betting a small pair like this is a little bit tricky.
So hard to play post flop.
Yeah, Johnny actually going to come and donk at this too. So the open from Johnny got 3-bet on the flop, then he comes out with a lead on the flop. Sorry, pre-flop was the 3-bet. Now going to lead this flop. And Jay Win, like, what do you do here? Can you call this? Right? I mean, there's just no chance for you to improve with a hand that gives you like anywhere near the nuts.
Gotta let it go. Yeah, I mean, in position, I think that configuration is an awkward spot to 3-bet, like a hand like 6s. We get an early open, and you're on the button. Like, that's a good spot to just call and make money when you flop a set instead of forcing yourself into a weird position. And what do you think about that lead into a pot like that with a monotone board? I think that's interesting. But I think that could be good in some. So I think monotone boards could have some leads, I think, on a heads-up pot. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, anytime you go into these sort of portions of the strategy, right, where it's like the limp back raise and how do you balance it effectively, or like, oh, here's a monotone board, so now I'm going to have a donking range, and what's it going to look like? All of those things are just really challenging to do like consistently and efficiently and like stick to, you know, an actual like identifiable strategy.
Right.
So I don't try to employ it. I think that's pretty complicated. So yeah, to go into the theory on like who's going to have more suited combos and why someone would go for a donk lead there is maybe going off into the weeds a little bit.
Yeah.
We got a hand developing here though, as we have a lot of broadways.
A lot. You're
All
gonna
of
see
the
some small
broadways.
cards. Yeah, there we go.
Taking a look back here at the chat. Yeah, we got Ryan Gallegos here. Why 3-bet with the 6s? I mean, that's a good question. So you would have to ask Jaywin, and I do know that there are other players. Jaywin is not the only player I've ever seen do something like this, but there are a few players that will do that. And I do understand that it does make it so that on certain boards you will not yield the nut advantage. Like, you know, a low board, it's like you just never going to have the nut advantage when you 3-bet unless you mix some of those low to middling pairs in.
Right.
But the times when what happened happens, it's just so much more frequent that it's just like, it's not worth it, right? Because even if it comes like jack high and you c-bet and they call, like now you just have a pair of 6s and it's very unlikely that
You
you're
got
going
to really put some pressure on to make it up. I think what he does, and maybe in a very deep game,
Bet 100.
it could be more useful where you're in position, like playing in really big pots with 1,000 big blinds. Where if you don't have a hand like that, you can get bluffed off your hand very, very easily where you're capped in these 4-bet or 3-bet pots when you're super deep. But so maybe he's working that into his game when he does play some very deep games. So he might be working that strategy, like you said, to be more board coverage in his 3-betting range. So.
Yeah, a very interesting hand just played out there. Kind of just went through with some small bets, and then there on the river, bet of 100 with ace queen high. Sammy goes for the raise in position with the queen 10 high, and gets his opponent to lay down the best hand, as it was just sort of like a weird semi-bluff sort of situation, and Sammy just sort of recognizing that like your sizing and betting on every street just doesn't really add up to a lot of strength. I'm going to go for the raise here on the river and just sort of put you to the test. And yeah, sure enough, got his opponent to snap fold the ace queen high that was the best hand. So nice play there from Sammy.
Hey, Harrison hasn't even played a hand, so.
On to the next game we go. Gil Monroe here, if I said your name correctly, says even the 2-5 game is big here. That is absolutely right. Everything's bigger in Texas. Definitely the 2-5 game included. As you will see, plenty of big stacks. The blinds basically irrelevant to how the game plays. You will see a lot of chips going in the middle, despite the gigantic number of blinds that each player controls.
You know, the open sizes are big. Everything is big, so you know the stack sizes almost shrink because of that. And you're putting in these $50 opens.
Yeah, especially with the straddles and such. All right, queen 5 deuce. Rainbow Raj here, controlling the better hearts, and neither player making a pair. So Raj just going to go ahead and c-bet on the button. Johnny will get out of the way, and Raj will take it down. Let's see here. Jared Char here says he's got a hot take on this. He says he 3-bets the 6-6 to isolate pre and have the lead post. He likes the mix. So I mean, yes, you're definitely going to accomplish that a lot of the time, but the playability that you have post flop is very much diminished by the fact that you have a middling pair that is going to almost always just be drawing to 2 outs if you're behind, and going to be tough to navigate. Like you're going to be bluffing a ton, and you have a hand that it doesn't really bluff well because it doesn't pick up equity well. So a little bit of a challenging hand to do it with, but as you say, isolating pre and maintaining the lead post flop is definitely the advantage of 3-betting in any scenario. All right, let's take a look at this one. What do we got?
Here we go.
Yeah, Dante going to limp UTG. Alex going to raise this up to 30 from early middle position. Anderson going to flat. Raj going to flat. Now Johnny going to go for a very small 3-bet. Look at this size.
Extremely small with all that other action in there.
Yeah. Dante, who had limped UTG here, which is a little bit of a questionable play to begin with. Now has to wonder, like, if I call, does everybody else just call,
Yeah.
so I still get to see this flop?
I mean, I feel like that would almost have to be a back raise or fold spot. You know what I mean? Like if you're ever looking at
$5,
doing that.
we'll count.
Especially, it's a pretty good candidate for it with the king queen blockers there for kings and queens.
Anderson a little bit surprisingly going to fold here. I get that the queen nine of clubs isn't going to make great pairs against all of these players, but I think the connectivity and the clubs was good enough to go ahead and put in the call. But he is just going to go ahead and step out of the way and let these three players go to a flop, and this pot is surprisingly small for the hands that are mixed up here. 7, 6, 5, 2 spades out there. Alex the only player with a spade. Johnny gonna flop an overpair, but a very connected board. See how he handles this. 400 in the pot, bet a 150.
Wow.
So Johnny keeping it small here. Alex, backdoor spades, 2 overs. Ace high, sometimes gonna be good. Johnny did choose a relatively small 3-betting size, so who knows what he's got in that range.
Fold.
But he is gonna fold. And now Raj here with no spades is out of the way as well.
Wow.
Thank you.
Interesting development on that hand. It was a small 3-bet, and nobody wanted to vend a small bet on the flop there.
Yeah.
I'll try not to lead with the draw this time. I mean, no promises.
All right. So let's see here. Taking a look back here, we got 360 of you fine folks joining us. So thank you guys for coming along. And yeah, taking a look there at the chip counts. Yeah, Dante down there just a shade under 1K.
Bomb pot time.
Everybody else up well over 2K for the most part. All right, Jeremy's going to sit down in the box. That means it's bomb pot time.
Hasn't even been an hour.
And we'll probably be slinging out 4 cards, as is the usual here. A little PLO, a bomb pot action.
We are all masters of PLO bomb pots here in Austin.
That's right. Masters by trial of...
By force.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whether you want to or not, you're going to either sit through a bunch of PLO hands, just sort of twiddling your thumbs and drooling a little bit on yourself, or you're going to get in the mix and figure it out. When you were out in Vegas, were they doing any bomb pots? Is that
Not in the games I played, but I played some PLO when I
okay?
was out there. Not in the Hold'em game. I was playing 2-5.
Okay, all right.
It was just ABC poker out there, you know.
Was it? All right. Were you playing some DEF poker?
I was playing Steam Dollar poker.
And running them
Yeah.
over. Yeah. Show them how it's done.
Yeah, it's good when they don't know who you are. But they know who I am in the Baccarat pit. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy, get him over here. Get him over here. Sit him down. What does he want? Fiji? Yeah, of course I want a Fiji. Put the Fiji down, cappuccino, and let's lose. No, we actually do well at Baccarat because I blindly bet. I cover my eyes and I just put my chips and like wherever it lands because it's like a either or bet. Wherever it just lands, I just bet that. And it does pretty well.
Wow. All right. The full blown legitimate blind bet
Blind
strategy.
bet, yes,
Yeah.
that's good.
Nice. Sounds good. I mean, yeah. In a game like that, you probably can't do worse.
Can't do
so.
worse. You can't do worse. Let fate decide.
Yeah. My goodness. All right, let's get these hands scanned in, as we do know for sure that Alex has 3 9s and a queen kicker. Justin is going to make a small raise up to 100, so we'll try to get his card scanned in, as he is just going to hold them all together in one location. Need to spread those out, move them around just a little bit to get those scanned in, so he's going to give that a try.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably has 9 deuce, and he does.
He surely does. And yeah, Alex drawing to 3 live cards, so he's not going to pick one up there on the turn. He's going to try to find a better boat than 9s full of deuces. Justin can safely go for more value here with 300 in the pot. I mean, may as well build this thing up. Your opponent's going to show a willingness to call on that flop. May as well go big, in my opinion, but he's going to keep it reasonable. That's half pot.
Yeah, the 4 is a pretty safe card for him, even though he's at the bottom one. I mean, 4 is not bad, but you're going to have to just target that 9. You know, a lot of the time your opponent's going to have 9 with three cards that can beat you.
Alex is going to go for the check call here. He's like, well, maybe every once in a while a 3 will give me a winning straight as well as pairing a card for a boat.
Yikes.
And there is the 3. He is going to make this straight, which beats all of the naked 9s. But Justin does not have a naked 9. He has picked up 9s full of 3s now here on the end and will not be checking back. 600 in the pot. How to get paid here. Now, definitely, I like a size down.
Yeah, you want to target like ace 9, right? Like maybe they will hero you. You bet maybe a few hundred at the most.
Yeah, but if you were also going to go for a bluff with your busted hearts, you might bet a little bit more. I mean, it's all, yeah, it's kind of a meta game, and I'm not well-versed enough at the Omaha to know like exactly what the appropriate play would or solver approved play. But Alex is going to call with the straight, and he's going to be like, oh, yeah, you have 2 full houses, and I can't beat that. So 9 blocker, no good. Pay this man his money.
Justin doing well in the bomb pot so far.
Yeah, and well played there by Justin as well. I mean, the bet sizing all the way down the end, and clearly picked the right price to get paid off there on the end.
I would think with 550, if I was in Alex's shoes, I'd like, you know, raise the flop. It's very likely he has a 9. If he gets to continue betting, he probably has one of the boats. But I am no PLO expert.
Yeah, having the blocker, and then also not only that, but also
No hearts. Right?
no hearts,
Yeah.
and like you beat all of the naked 9s. Like ace 9 might just still be like, I could go for value maybe. I mean, I don't think for that sizing, but you could convince yourself to make that call. He certainly did, and unfortunately it was not correct. JL here going to raise this up 5x to 50 bucks. Ace 5 of hearts. Justin, with his heaps of chips piled up in front of him, looks to be going for a call. He will. And Sammy now looking down at a suited king.
Can't fold a suited king there with a straddle out. Come on now.
Yeah, you got to defend those little babies. All right. What do we got here? 9 high flop. Nobody pairs up. So JL with the best hand and the lead. He's just going to stab at this. Should be 2 quick folds, and on to the next hand we go. Indeed, that is the case. All right. As you can see there, we got ourselves a link that you can click to subscribe to TCH Live, which hopefully, if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and click that button. We're up to something just astronomical, 22,000 subscribers to TCH Live. So thank you guys all for joining us on the journey. And also do, if you haven't had an opportunity, please do help us out. Hit that like button. That will help us get this
Smash the
broadcast out to more folks on the interwebs. All right, well.
What have you been up to, Mr. A. Ron? Playing a lot of poker?
So here recently, I was just sort of taking some time off and relaxing, you know, got to get a little relaxing in. Played a bunch of poker leading up to this, so I was down in Houston, San Antonio, playing those big tournaments and stuff, and coming into the room playing cash throughout the week and stuff. So it was time to just get some R&R, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, those tournaments are a grind. I mean, I don't do them almost ever anymore, but I know they're a grind, and I know someone, especially when you're at your level and how much thought you put into every hand and process, getting through it all. I'm sure you get tired out after a while. And get that nice relaxation, regroup, retool, come back.
Absolutely, and yeah, just the travel too can take it out of you.
For sure.
Moving around, sleeping in a hotel, all that stuff just messes with all of the usual sort of habits that you have. So, anyways, let's see. We've gone heads up to this flop. Dante with the superior hand, but just 2 overs and backdoor diamonds at this point. Checks it. Jason bets 30, and Dante out of the small blind is going to have a lot of these kind of like weak Broadway hands, and so going for the check call here is going to be a little bit hard to realize your equity or even just win the hand when you don't improve, right? So is he going to take a lead at this now? He is. Interesting. Okay, goes for the check call. And now
cutter and just went for it.
And there you go. Jason's like, well, I didn't really have anything, so I guess if you can bet at it, you must. And Dante will take it down with the best hand. There you
Yeah, I think when it puts a one-liner out there, you can just take a stab at it, and a lot of time they're going to give up.
go. Jedi Master Ted also reminding everyone that I was also crashing cars. So I did wreck my car coming back from Houston, and so I've been dealing with that as well. But do have everything sorted out, and now it's just a matter of time and finding my next new set of wheels. So I've been looking at some new
what do we got? What's it- what do we-
2022
ooh.
Hondas rolling onto the lots here pretty soon.
Damn.
Their release date is actually here in like less than a week. So we'll have the 2022s out on the lots, and the 2021s
Looking
will start
fresh.
looking
I,
like.
I saw some. You know, I'm looking for a car as well. I'm about to trade in mine or sell mine off.
Or wreck it. You could just
Or
do
wreck.
that.
Well, I'm not gonna wreck it. Let's hope, say a steamboat prayer. Well, like value of selling like a used car right now, like they're going up like in value. Like
Yeah.
I was looking at it a few months ago, and it was such and such price, and I was looking at it very recently, and it went up. They were giving me more money, so somehow it's appreciating. Usually that's not the case with cars, but
No, definitely the truth.
the market is interesting right now.
That is very true. So yeah, I may be looking at those vehicles and wanting to purchase one off of a dealership lot, but they may not have any because
Yeah,
the
'cause
chip
there's no
shortage,
chips, yeah.
and, all that. So yay,
Yeah.
exciting. All right, Jay Wynn here, stabbing at this with a gutter, and Sammy with just ace high. He is going to step aside, so Jay Wynn will take that one down. Jonathan here in the chat asking how bad was the wreck. I mean, it messed up my car pretty good. So it was during a massive rainstorm here in the Austin area, and hydroplaned off of the highway. Yeah, 75-mile-an-hour zone, and there was just a river in the middle of the highway going around a bend. So there was just pretty much nothing to be done. Lost control of the car, went off the side down an embankment, and the radiator and the front cross member took a pretty good, hefty punch in the face.
They could,
But
yeah.
I was fine,
All I could do
didn't
is-
roll the car or anything like
I
that,
like
so
shuffling as far as
everything
being honest.
just
I like
Gucci.
shuffling them better.
But
We had a
Yeah.
good string of storms there for a bit, so there was rivers all over the place
I just
on
like
the
it,
roads.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird weather year here. We had a freeze, we got a lot of storms,
Yeah.
extra humidity for no reason.
Yeah. Well, I just hope that all that rain was able to do some work in the reservoirs, because I imagine we're going to need it later on in the summer as the heat continues. But yeah, anyways, thanks for everybody's questions and thoughts there. Yes, I was okay. So next gen poker. Hey,
Oh,
what's
what's
up,
up?
dude? Oh my God, Frankie, dude, I loved the cameo that I got to make in your guys' latest video. Although I'm really sad and disappointed, Frankie, that you didn't put in my slow roll. I slow rolled him, and he didn't put it in the vlog. So, anyways, but no, really good stuff, man. Keep up the good work. Keep those good videos.
We love those next gen boys.
Coming out, yeah, man.
Great content.
All right. Dante here 3-betting the ace-jack offsuit. And getting called in 2 spots. Justin here going to outflop his opponents with second pair. And Dante with the gutter and backdoor diamonds. That's a mandatory
Yeah,
bet. He is
mandatory
gonna
trigger pull
check.
there.
Sammy here with the 7s is like, if you guys don't want it, I don't know. I guess I'll probe for protection. This is not going to work too often, but when it does, you're going to be like, sweet, I won with third pair, so yay. But he is going to face some resistance here. Justin going to go and put in the call. And see, now this is the weird spot for Dante. Oof, looks like he's going to go for a check call here. He is.
Yeah, I mean, you don't normally check when you're the aggressor pre-flop those king high boards, especially you have such a range advantage, and especially when you hold some good cards. But you got to turn a set here, right? You probe for protection, and then Sammy, and you just turn a set.
Yeah, you're like, well, I was really trying to build the pot for when I hit my set, and he did. So now checky. Sammy's like, sweet, I have the goods now. And these guys both calling me. There are several big draws out there. 652, he's going to bet 345. I think you could even go a little bit larger. We can see from his opponent's holdings that they're just going to fold to this bet. But yeah, and the 345, I mean, it targets those draws effectively enough anyways, the half pot bet or whatever. is going to put the ace jacks and the diamonds in a tough spot. So
Yeah, especially that they that Dante had checked the flop. If that wasn't the case, maybe you can go maybe like a pot size bet and really target, you know, the top pair or those queen jack diamonds or queen jack suited.
yeah.
All those other hands that might be calling, but
All right, let's see. We got a little back and forth. All right, that's excellent. Racer nerd. Sometimes you got to turn left to go right. Well, yeah. I mean, I did my best, and like to be honest, like in the moment, it was just all of a sudden, right? Like, oh, I just drove into a river on the highway at full highway speeds, and now I'm, spinning around. Not spinning around, but like lost full traction.
yeah.
And when I went off the road and down the embankment, I managed to guide it to head on, right? Like if I had gone down sideways, I would have rolled
a lot
it.
of turmoil.
Yeah. it
Yeah,
would've-
that's a nice maneuver to not roll over.
Yeah. So all things considered,
Have you ever considered doing Hollywood? You know, being like
a stunt driver?
stunt driver. You know?
I mean, after that, like I'm qualified.
Did you send the
now.
footage in?
That's right. Yeah. All right. Nice little hand developing here. As Alex goes for the 3-bet after Jason's open, and Jay Wynn here out of the big blind is going to go for the cold 4. Cold 4, almost min
Yeah,
click
some mint
here.
click for here.
And Jason here. All of these players sitting fairly deep. Alex is the effective stack here, starting the hand with 1.2K. And yeah, facing this very small 4-bet. The thing about this is that Jason should reasonably be able to recognize that Jay Wynn's not going to have a hand like aces, because wow, that would generally be the first thing that you'd think of like, oh, min click, that's probably going to be something really strong like aces. But this is not a heads-up pot.
There's too much money out there, and there's too much. You know, he doesn't want it to go 3 or 4 ways with aces. You know, he would have to polarize that sizing a little bit more.
Yeah, which is why it's a little bit odd, because I'm not exactly sure what value hands bet this size. I don't know. I mean, Jay Wynn, he's got his own strategy, and I'm not trying to be too
He knows his
critical. It's
stuff,
just just a little bit different than what I might have done, and sometimes going to be curious. As it stands, that is just going to bring in several players, or the other 2 players to this flop. Multi-way action here on TCH Live, and it's ace high. Alex will check his flopped second pair backdoor flush draw.
He's going to have to bet pretty large here, I would assume.
Well, he gets the queens to fold very quickly.
Wow. Okay.
Jay Wynn announced 225, put out 200, so there's his extra green chip. 225 to Alex now, playing this one out of position. My goodness, he's going to go for the check call here, leaving himself 763 behind. That's a stack to pot ratio of like barely over 0.5.
Well, he picked up a good card. Got the flush draw. I'm sure that's what he was looking for. He's like, maybe I'll pull some equity and go for it.
Yeah, but he needed to probe.
Yeah, I thought he
or
was going to
needed
rip it there. Yeah.
He needed to donk it in. Because Jay Wynn is very likely just to check this behind now.
I don't need it. You grab a bottle opener for free.
I would presume. I mean, this
on the
hand
Coke
is
machine,
just
actually.
bananas. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Maybe we should
I'm
just
really
go to the
surprised.
table audio and stop
yeah,
talking.
I know. I'm just really surprised the queens folded that quickly to that small bet.
With the multi-wave
Yeah.
action, I don't think it's the most unreasonable, but this has just been very strange. Because Jay Wynn now is like, what do I do here, right? Like, yeah,
He does
is-
check behind. I think that's the most reasonable play. He doesn't want to keep bluffing, and he gets kind of bailed out here.
Well, he had the best hand, but yeah.
Well, I
like,
think Alex is going to jam this. I think he would have to. Did he already check the river?
Alex did check the river. He's going for showdown. Okay, so I guess we had it as he had already checked, but
Okay.
he is going to. So premonitions from the future. And Jay Wynn with the 2 pair should just put his opponent all in. And he does. And now Alex is like, dang it, if I was beating any of your club draws, a lot of them just picked up a pair of kings on the river that beat me.
Yeah, that's the worst card for Alex that you can ever see.
Yeah, in actuality,
yeah,
it was
probably.
good for him because if he ever did think about heroing, he was going to lose to the king kicker. But yeah, just a very interesting hand. This one was my favorite one so far, just from the sheer fact of like I was very curious about how that played out the whole way
Well, it
through.
worked for Jalen, so he got a nice pot there. Taking that small sizing.
Absolutely. All right, taking a look back at the chat. We got a little back and forth here talking about hydroplaning. Yeah, it is crazy, dude. Jedi Master Ted says that he hydroplaned into an oak tree once, and he loved his truck, so it sounds like it died, unfortunately. And yeah, dude, it is no joke. Like, my tires were fine. Like, it was definitely not for lack of my like driving or my equipment.
You drive into a foot of water going 70 miles an hour.
Yeah,
It's like,
dude.
but my tires, they must have been a little old.
I'm telling you, dude, it was bananas. Yeah, and I was not the only car to have gone off in that location. There were several other spots where you could see tire tracks going down the same embankment, and one of them went like over like a signpost and everything, and all the way across the frontage road that I stopped on, and into the trees down below that one. So, yeah, I lucked out. Let's just say that. All right, perfect. All right, we're gonna get some table audio going for y'all here after this hand, as we've got Justin and Johnny clashing. Johnny putting in a very small 3-bet here.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll take the.
All right.
He's gonna flop safe, so he's got an overpair and a gutter here. Backdoor spades as well. Justin with second pair top kicker. Can't really fold just yet, even though this is a full pot size bet and feels a little bit weird. Very small 3-bet, then a full pot size bet. Sizings are a little bit curious, but Justin not going to let it go just yet. For a check on this turn. Did pick up some equity, but Johnny's going to check it back. Another Judge Judy on the end. Johnny is going to finish with the best hand if we make it to showdown. And Justin now.
Yeah, okay. I thought he was going to kind of rep the jack there for a second. But
yeah, no real sense doing it. Yeah, because your opponent's range is just like always beating you.
yes.
And if it's not, then it's probably just going to snap check back the river and just give up because that board looks scary as hell. All right, cumulative winnings on your screen, but Steam Dole and I are going to fade out into the background, let you guys catch up on some of the table audio. Enjoy.
TV so I can verify that.
Yeah.
I don't have to text my friend that.
No, you just said fair.
Look at ace
Wow.
10, ace 3 suited.
If he raised ace 10, 230, anyone wanna place any bets on that?
Just say they could have been. I think it was. What do you want to bet?
I can't bet with you.
I think it was pocket king.
Seems like a good opportunity for London thinks.
But he said he had 2 pairs.
I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna see in 10 minutes.
Definitely pocket king.
To get your bets in quick.
Ace king.
$10. $10?
$10.
All right, done. All right, $10.
You didn't show.
Raise 35.
That's 2 pair with a king.
Cool.
King 10.
Raise.
Raise 100.
It was a good squeeze spot. That was the one thing that crossed my mind. I was like,
What'd you start?
Raise.
Yeah, you guys are like raising each other too much, leaving me out. I wanted to get in.
Check. Hit it.
Actually missed it. I tried to do 360, but I left one black behind.
Yeah, I was curious though.
I would never even click it between 2 people.
Thank you.
Well, that's what scared me the most. So.
Oh, like I wanted to keep it.
I was like, oh,
No, it was a mistake. The black. What happened was when I went like that, the black stayed behind, and I didn't want to be awkward, so I kind of just did a forward motion. Kind of strong though, huh? For the blinds.
It works.
Thinking what of medicine I am.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I guess we had some nice little table chatter and everybody enjoying that one.
Table banter.
Table banter.
Let's make it sound pretty.
All right, as we've got an open to 20 here. by Johnny.
That's number 4.
Number 4. Steamdoll at number 4. Gonna raise up to 20. Dante gonna flat call UTG2 with 7-5 at diamonds. I gotta give him a little.
Yeah, I think you gotta give him a little needle for that play right there.
Yeah, well, also the
Yeah,
previous one.
yeah.
He's had a couple now, so. All right.
You making notes?
Yeah, yeah. Sammy will flat that phrase after Dante, and then Jay Win is like, no, this will not work. I have Ace King, and y'all are gonna fold. Back over. Raj was even
cold
in there
call,
too.
Right? Cold call here with King Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Is that gonna bring in the party? Are they gonna bring in the party?
Yes, it
It's
is.
gonna ring the call, the waterfall as we call it.
And Jay Win's like, I 6x'd that open. Why is everyone calling?
6x, no good in Texas.
All right. Well, we have a lot of cards being represented here as we have 5 players going to this flop. 6:30 in the middle.
This usually brings in the 8 of hearts when you have this combination of 8s. So let's see what happens. Oh, draw the 8 of clubs.
Ah, that's close.
Well, it is in the top, 3 hands or 4 hands in poker, so it does flop sets often.
Yeah, absolutely right. Nobody with a real strong piece of this other than Johnny, though. So Dante here with the bottom pair, backdoor straight and flush. I mean, depending on the sizing here, actually, this checks all the way back to Jaywin, who is just going to appeal for free.
I don't think he can realistically bluff at that.
No, definitely not. Yeah, so free turn card for everybody. Raj will check it, so it's not the Queen of Diamonds, I presume, as that was the card he was hoping for. Let's take a look here once we get the board scanned in. 3 of hearts.
Brick City.
Brick City Knights. So Johnny will win this hand, despite everyone's best intentions, efforts, or other such actions. I had the perfect word in my mind.
It didn't come out.
No, it didn't. Damn it. Words are hard. Here on
Sure
TCH Live. All right. Raj, the last remaining player to defend this board against Johnny's bet of 250.
He doesn't want to relinquish, it looks like.
He's like, but this hand had so many opportunities to be better than King High. And it's still just King High, and Raj will fold it. So there you go. Pocket 8s, makes a set,
Obviously.
wins. Obviously.
I could have told you that was going to happen. Surprised it was the 8 of clubs, so usually that brings the 8 of hearts. Anyway. I digress, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's a little feedback from Mike Youngblood. He says, watching on the laptop, and the player audio sounds clearer than I have heard before. Well, that's fantastic. So glad for that, as we are working with the newest of all technologies and our newest producer joining the crew. We'll have to come up with a special nickname for David here. So we'll be thinking of that as we move along. But Mike asking, can we hear it in the headphones? No, we cannot. So we're over here doing the best we can, and then David is working in on the other side to sort of pick out some good hands for us to try to tune in on the action. All right, let's see. We got a raise to 25 here. Johnny, UTG with Ace King offsuit. And there will be, once again, several players calling and a multi-way flop coming. 102 bucks in the middle there. Ace high board. It's going to pair Alex and Johnny, but Johnny has the superior kicker. Jason with a pair as well. Second pair, backdoor straight draw. And Sammy, he's already done with it with a whole lot of not much. But yeah, Alex, not going to go anywhere yet. He will call with the top pair. Jason closing the action here. He's getting a fairly reasonable price, but I do think that with no diamond on board, I'm just folding this.
Yeah, maybe that's the ace of diamonds. That's a much easier call there. And it would have been a nice turn, but he still did pick up a little something.
Yeah, this may just actually drag him deeper into this hand if he once again closes the action with a reasonable price, which it just may go that route too. It's a check, about a 150, and if Alex calls with his turned equity as well, he can now hit a 6 for a straight. Then, yeah, Jason's going to be like, dude, do I have to call this again? And I think he does now that he's found himself here.
Well, if he thinks that a 9 is good as well. Oh, okay. Now he gets away from it.
He could have also gone for the bluff there,
Yeah.
right? Like his hand is never going to be good, but because he has a 6, he could have had the 6-8 of diamonds, and 6-8 of diamonds just made a straight. So that could have been a spot to go for the old check raise a Ruski and put some of those single pair hands, even ace king, in a kind of a tough spot. But as it stands, the 9-6 folds, 10 of diamonds on the river. Johnny bets 350 now, and Alex is like, bro, did you brick clubs, please? Did you brick clubs? So he's going to go into deep think mode, and there we go. Taking a look back here at the chat as Alex tries to figure out his life is Mike Youngblood talking through the toughest part, which is mixing everything together, bobbing and weaving. Indeed, that is the tough part. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let us know. Please drop a 1 in the chat if you like what we're doing with mixing in the audio, and drop a deuce if you think it's not quite working out. So 1 if you like it, 2 if you don't. It'll help us get a little bit of feedback. So thank you guys. As looks like, did Alex pay this
put
off?
in the call. Yeah, he put in the slam the chips down in the middle of the pot. He's like, I know you're good, but I got to call.
Yeah. Yep, tricky spot there. Johnny getting paid. Moves on up to 3.7K, so Johnny has been running quite well here as of late.
3 streets.
Ooh, 4.1K, I should say, after we get the action
Yeah.
tracker all caught up.
No one adding up to that number. Have a gap.
Yeah, Sammy J win, Justin
I think
Jail.
Jay will add on at some point to get that number. I have a feeling. Not much from Anderson yet tonight. It's been a little card dead.
I'm in 5 or 6 years ago. We were in Longhorn.
All right, we're getting some 1s up in here. Excellent. So, all right, well, we're going to keep doing our best to integrate all of the newest and greatest technology to keep you guys all in the action. Let's see here. Anderson, he's in the action. He's got ace 10 offsuit. He's going to raise this up to 25 bucks from the hijack. And Justin on the button is going to go for the 3-bet. Tough little spot here. This is hijack versus button, so you could think about going for a 4-bet. Anderson is going to go for the call, play this one out of position. This is the tougher way to play this one, that is for sure. And Anderson is going to whiff this one pretty hard. Checks it over. Justin will get to C-bet. Looks like half pot, and Anderson was likely just going to have to fold this, which is sort of the challenge of playing any pot out of position, especially with a hand like an ace-10 offsuit that just isn't quite connected enough to continue on most flops. So yeah, just kind of a tough spot, but did want to keep Justin honest, I guess, but just kind of a tough flop there.
Yeah, I think the suited variety could be the call, and the offsuit there plays a 4-bet fold. I think it's just too hard to play ace 10 there out of position.
Yeah.
To even call.
And when it's
Offsuit.
hijack against button, I actually like the ace 10 as a 4-bet there at a reasonably high frequency. Because your opponent can do that pretty light. Like, oh, you're going to open the hijack? Well, I can 3-bet you on the button. I'm in position. My range can be wide like yours.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just sort of push you around.
Configuration plays a big part of the hands you're going to be choosing.
Dude, Kevin Rand joining us in the chat. What's up, buddy? He says, let's go, Sammy. All caps. Have to check into the chat. Root on the legend.
Sammy
and,
is a
wave
legend
at us.
in the card house, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, dude, good to see you, Kevin. How
So
you
is
been doing,
Kevin.
man? Hope things are going well for you out yonder. All right, $10 straddle here from the one and only, the Sammy, in the 10th seat. And it looks like we got a raise to 25 here from J-Win. 35 from J-Win. Anderson, he's got...
Ace of 10 off again.
Yeah.
It's like, let's see how you do it this time, Anderson. Come on.
Yeah. Well, he's going to call to 35. And folds over and around through the blinds. So... Jason going to fold the 7-deuce. Apparently we're not playing the 7-deuce game, which we have been playing on occasion here at the...
on Thursday? I've been playing on Mondays for sure.
On Mondays for sure, but also just on the 2-5.
Oh yeah, we're playing
the regular game here.
Back in the real room.
Yeah. Oh man, it's been fun.
Yeah, it always adds a nice element to the game of. This guy got 7-deuce.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do I have to make this goal?
Yeah. Yeah, I was the wonderful recipient of the all-in jam. My opponent had the 7 deuce, and I had the number 1 pocket aces.
Ah, number 1. Nice.
So yeah, it was a fun
Call
night.
you called the was it a 5-bet or something?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The
It's
5
nice
bet
calling
jam.
a 5-bet with aces. Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, Anderson here's got top pair, but top pair no good as J1 has top and middle.
Yeah, but Anderson can't go anywhere yet. Is looking for one of his counterfeit outs. Needs a 9 or a 10. That's a Judge Judy. Not going to get the job done. So Jay wins still with the 2 pair. Can safely continue going for value. Targeting all of the hands that are exactly like what Anderson has. Just hoping he doesn't have ace jack, please. Yeah, he will get looked up.
Yep, nice bet.
All right. Save my seat here asking, is it PLO for every last hand of the dealer? It's actually the first hand of a new dealer. So whenever we get a dealer change, the new dealer sits down and spreads a hand of PLO bomb pot action. Yeah. So, all right. Let's see here. Kevin, you going to make it out to WSOP this year, or maybe any of the other big tournaments around, maybe even back here in Texas? I know WPT is going to be going on up in Oklahoma here in just about a month. And then we've got a couple of other big tournaments coming up here in the Texas area as well over the next couple of months. So let me know if you're going to be around for that, Kevin. All right, what do we got going on here? JL going to limp UTG, ace 4 off suit. Oh no, that is incorrect. He is going to fold that. So
All right, better.
much better. Jay Wynn, he's got a real ace.
Anderson again. The ace 10, ace jack offsuit. And now he's like, I had enough of this. We're going to start 3-betting.
Yeah, and unfortunately for him, unless he gets bailed out on the flop, if he makes it to a flop, depending on Jay Wynn's action. This is 2 early positions sort of going at it.
Yeah.
So very likely that everyone else will get out of the way and Jay Wynn will have the decision.
I like this ace queen. I think suited as just calling here in my game anyway. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, definitely a candidate for a 4-bet on occasion. And because you're going to be out of position, I think I like a 4-bet a little bit more frequently than usual. But as you say, maybe saving that for the ace-queen offsuit varieties and,
like
and smooth calling the suited ones. I think that's going to be sort of like a traditional approach.
Yeah,
and that's going to be pretty
standard. Yeah.
Right. Kevin Rand here playing WSOP main. Looks like Venetian WPT next month. Awesome, dude. Sounds good. I'm not sure if I'm going to be out. Wait, is that the 5K at the Venetian for the WPT?
Bad news for Anderson here. Sorry. Jay Wynn does call, but they both flop top pair. He's going to be kicked here, and might need a little bailout turn.
Yeah, that is correct. So Jay Wynn here, gonna go for the check call. Your opponent still definitely has the range advantage, and while your hand is quite strong, you don't want to bloat the pot out of position when a card like this peels off and you don't really know sort of where you're at.
Hello.
Anderson is going to check this back, and Jay Wynn is like, oh, thank God.
The 4th diamond.
I don't think this should be that scary to Jay Wynn, right? Because if his opponent had, like, let's say King Queen or King Jack or something with 1 diamond,
Yeah, they definitely would have continued.
probably would have continued. So yeah, we're just going to go check. I do think, I mean, sitting at the table and actually going for the thin value there on the end as Jay Wynn is like just tough to really conceive of. But throwing in $100 there and trying to get a crying call from a hand that's exactly like that is one option. But you can also just be value owning yourself against ace king that's just not folding to that size as well. So going for the check, probably check call was just fine as well.
Yeah, and Anderson got bailed out a little bit there with that run out because he could have lost 3 streets, or at least two good streets there being kicked.
So tough little streak here
Yeah.
of 3 hits for our boy
You know,
Anderson.
I started. I feel like I was like, I haven't seen much from Anderson tonight. Then it went ace 10, as Jack. He lost all 3 pots. I feel bad. I feel he's gonna rewatch this and not let me talk to him ever again.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate. All right, so firing up another hand here. So we do not have the straddle on for this one. Alex is going to be first to act. And yeah, just a couple of folds so far.
Raise 25.
Oh, does Anderson have a raise in hand? He does. He's going to raise this up to 25. So right back on the horse there, buddy. And he's got another
wearing it on
marginal
his face
holding.
a little bit. Yeah, it's like this marginal hands that I have to play. I mean, I don't know if he has to play this one in +2, but
Yeah, he's like, please everyone fold. Let me have the
Dante.
button. Oh,
got
no.
him dominated.
Oh, no. Anderson, we feel for you, buddy. He's probably, I shouldn't say anything about it. He probably will do anything, but I hope that he just folds pre. Nope, he's going to see a flop and going to look to find a jack or something else. Oof, that is not the flop you wanted. Checks it over. Dante here can range bet this flop pretty well. And he will.
Pretty big, though, isn't he?
150.
That's pretty big into that. I mean, if you're going to be range, I mean, on a flop like this, I think I'd go pretty small, just bet everything.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I agree.
It
Because
does the same thing. You're going to get the same hands to fold, and you get to put a little less out there just in case. But
yeah, and everything that's still going to call you is still going to
Yeah,
call
it's
you
the same
for
thing.
150 now
yeah,
instead
yeah,
of
exactly.
75.
Like, crap.
Yeah.
Like they're not going
Absolutely.
to fold 6s or 7s there, no matter what.
Absolutely right. Harrison Gimbel here asking who is commentating. That would be Aaron McAvoy, myself. Along with me tonight is the one and only, the Steam Dola. Thank you for joining us here tonight, and 474 of you guys hanging out with us tonight. So cool stuff. Thank you guys for coming along for the ride. 84 likes on the counter, getting on up to that 100 like mark. We always appreciate it when you guys help us out with climbing on up to each of those milestones as we go along. So Raj here going to let go of the 7 deuce. Man, I'll tell you, playing with that 7 deuce game is so much fun. Like, it adds a whole nother layer to it. And like every time you look down at the 7 deuce, instead of just being like,
Yeah,
you're like,
all right.
oh,
You start
this
looking
is
around.
the one.
What's the bounty? What have you guys been doing? 20, 50,
25 ahead.
25.
So in the 2-5 game, yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah,
50 ahead would be like
That's pretty big.
astronomical.
That's pretty big.
You'd see people like happily like going for massive raises all the time, and it would be a little bit bizarre.
25 is good, so people don't want to stack off when they have it every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. All right. So what do we got going
Okay,
on?
with another 2 pair aces up here. There's a couple spots like that.
Yeah, Sammy on the hook here goes for a raise here. Raise it up to 100. Interesting choice here. With no diamond in hand, I think this is a little bit strange. But Sammy perhaps just looking to get a cheap showdown, right? Put in the small raise, then your opponent's going to check the river, and you can just check behind. That is the way it goes.
Yep.
But
Not sure if that's what he was thinking, but that actually probably saved him some money.
yeah, if J-Win goes for anything over $60 there on the end,
Yeah.
then yeah,
Probably would have.
that's right. Joseph Staten here. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for coming along. Yeah. All right.
Come out of there and go straight, and then it finds you back around this way. You come up by, there's a big park called Paceman.
What's it going to take for us to get Nick from Yuma out on stream over here? What do we need to do to get Mr. Nick from Yuma to play live poker on the stream?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, like there are so many people that that come in and hang out with us each and every week for every stream, and it's fantastic. We love having you guys on in the chat and interacting with us. And it would just be so cool. It would totally make my day to get to meet some of you guys and especially have some of you guys get out on the felt. So that would be pretty fantastic. So if there was any way that I could be part of making that happen, I would definitely participate. Let's see here, Jason here going to open this up early middle position, ace queen suited. Alex is going to fold. He was in the small blind, so pretty reasonable to kind of find the three better fold there, and king jack offsuit and just kind of just let it go sometimes.
That's a spot where a lot of players loosely call, and it's probably not a good strategy. The three better fold. I mean, definitely can be three betting that some of the time, but.
Sammy and Anderson, though, they're in the mix. They've got way less than
9-6 off,
king
Jack
jack
7 off. Why not?
King jack would have done
Done
it.
work, yeah.
Well, eight of spades out there, along with the king of diamonds. Jason with the best hand, the pre-flop lead. He's just going to go ahead and happily c-bet at this, and his opponents will cower in fear and run away. First one down, and there's
Down and
Anderson
down.
as well. All right, so not much going on right there.
Thank you.
You been following any of the soccer, football?
I have not.
No,
I'm so
I haven't
sorry.
really either, but had some games on today that were fairly exciting. So got to see some of that, and yeah.
We got the. I follow pretty much only golf these days and a little bit of hockey, but used to only watch hockey. But it's the U.S. Open this week.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Who you got to take it down?
You know,
you ever put any wagers on?
I haven't in a while. I used
Okay.
to. I would love to see Mr. Phil Mickelson, who just won a major, who is 51 years old, who is the oldest player to ever win one.
Heck
The
yeah.
last one. He has never won a U.S. Open. That would be the great story of the year or many years.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen at that golf course. But
Okay, gotcha.
that's what I would like to see happen.
Yeah, all right. Well, Anderson, he's got a real ace this time.
There we go.
None of that ace 10, ace jack crap. Suited ace queen, and he says raise to 130. And Sammy, the only other player left to give him action, and Sammy's the kind of guy who could be frisky enough to peel off a flop here in position with a hand like this.
Yeah, Sammy's known for loving suited hands, so not going to fold it.
Yeah, and playing in position, you know, if you feel good and confident with your post-flop game, taking hands like this and just sort of taking one off in position, seeing what happens. Like, this is not a good board for the three-better, so you know what? Maybe Sammy can find a way to take this one down. However, Anderson does have the nut spade draw, so he is certainly not going anywhere just yet. And in fact, going to bet the 125 here. See if Sammy floats him with the backdoor straight and flush draws.
Looks like he's going to do more than float.
He almost made the pump like he was going to, but we shall see. Now that he's cut out the calling chips, it was kind of tough to go back for the raise. Yeah, it's more often to go back for the fold. All right.
Your physical body was like, don't do it.
All right, Rick Salyer here saying, anyone hitting up Choctaw next month? I will definitely be there. So, yeah, definitely will be out there. So if you're out there, Rick, then perhaps I'll run into you. Yeah, that should be a good time. And man, I'll tell you, these WPT tournaments have just been blasting guarantees left and right.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
pretty much wherever they go, everyone shows
The
up.
poker community was starving for a year, you know, to get out there and play some live tournaments. You know, everyone and their sister, and mother, and grandmother are playing.
Yeah. Oh, the more the merrier. Let's get them on the fell.
Get them out there.
All right, $10 and $20 straddles going on here. Justin and Jason gonna take this blind level up a notch. As Dante gonna open limp for 20 bucks. Ace 4 clubs.
Yeah, and this is a hand that players who open limp usually do it with. You know, it's like, all right, what do you open limp with? Maybe small pairs and suited aces. You know, like a suited small ace. Which kind of, again, you're just kind of telling people, this is what I have.
Yeah. Sammy gonna sense weakness there from middle position. Jack 4 suited gonna go ahead and attack that limp from Dante.
Ambitious.
Yeah, gets looked up by Alex. And now Anderson sees the ace-queen off from the small blind, and he is going to go for the cold 3-bet. The cold 3-bet. It wasn't raised, so cold. It's just a 3-bet. I was about to say cold 4-bet because I thought that it was a raised pot.
It was
but
the
wasn't.
limp, but it was a $20 strudel.
Yep. So 450 now, and yeah, Dante's like, well, $20, goodbye. And there it goes. Sammy now like, this isn't what I had in mind.
Yeah. That's why Jack, well, I told you, he loves those suited hands. But this would be extreme.
Yeah, Anderson playing less than 2K effective stack, so definitely no room there for Sammy to make a bet that wasn't probably just always getting called by anything except for a very ambitious attempt from Anderson to scoop that one with a squeeze. And there you go. It's just going to be 2 quick folds, and nice squeeze there
Nice
from
little
Anderson, going to get the
squeeze-a-roni.
job done. Dude, hell yeah, $5 super chat here from Captain Underpairs.
Under pairs.
Chat Pro meetup game on the TCH Poker Cruise. Hell yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, what
Yeah,
do you
we
think
should-
about this cruise? I
Yeah,
mean,
that-
I
maybe
would go
we
on
should-
it, but I don't know exactly all the details. I need to look into the details to
Yeah,
find out
we
if that's
should look
something.
into the details, and maybe we can make it happen.
Dude, that would be cool. That would be super cool. All right, so
Aloof Meatloafs wants me to keep using the strudel. It's the content we deserve, he said that for the $5 chat. Thank you so much. I always will use strudel. And sometimes it's a toaster strudel, sometimes it's just a struts. It depends on the sizing.
oh yes, if
Apple
Apple
strudel, yeah, of
Apple
course.
straddles the Apple strudel.
We would love to see him in this game.
Dude, yes, absolutely. Always a fantastic guy to have in and around the poker table,
Nice string of
especially in
hands
the
here.
poker table.
5 deuce offsuit, jack suit, 6 suited.
Sammy gonna flop second pair. Raj top pair. Neither player with a very inspiring kicker. Jason bottom pair and Johnny backdoor steel wheel outs. That's just about it. Raj gonna bet 100 with his top pair though, and just take it down. So there you go. Joseph Staten here. I don't know if Cruz is good for playing poker. If I lose, I'm jumping off. Yeah, well, yeah, maybe stick to the 1 cent, 2 cent, whatever, so you don't burn up your roll and
Don't
feel
worry.
the need to jump
I'll
off.
have a boat. I'll have a lifeboat to catch you down there. We'll play a heads-up match. He won't let you leave. I'm gonna jump off like catch you down there. Playing baccarat now.
Yes, there you go.
You can always make it back. 1 bet.
One blind bet at a
I
time.
don't want to partake. I just want to know.
Wow, I didn't know there was alcohol.
All right, $2.99 super chat here from Nick from Yuma. Joseph Staten is the definition of a chat pro. Hell yeah. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate your contribution there.
Mr. Yuma.
Yeah.
That's my go-to drink. I was like, oh, it's BYOB. No one told me that.
All right, Johnny here.
From out of town.
Go ahead and step aside. Thought for the moment that was going to be a limp. It's not. Sammy, however, is going to limp after Dante limped.
Open limp again.
Yeah.
What do you think about open limping offsuit connector like that? Nah, we don't need to get into that. Sorry.
You're trying to get me to needle my friend here,
Yeah,
and I will, because this is something we've talked
You know,
about.
and he also told me to go easy on him today, but he's not making it very easy.
No, he told me the same thing. So you're not going to get it easy here, Dante, especially when you limp and then call for 50. First to act with 8-7 offsuit. Dude, bro.
Brah.
All right, well, he's bringing Jaywin in there with the 9-6 offsuit, so, you know, what do I know?
Big hands.
Everybody going to this flop.
Okay.
5-4 deuce.
The wheel for Anderson.
And he's just going to flop it. Just going to flop it. Jaywin with a gutter.
Everyone's
Two
got a
with
little
better
something,
strength.
something.
They sure do. Checky. Jaywin is like, this board sucks. My hand sucks, so maybe together they can win. And he's going to bet $80, 85, $80. All right. Anderson was like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Maybe it was just like a club.
And I will raise you to 225.
I
This
tried.
will
That's what I'm
prevent
saying.
Dante or Sammy from investing further in this hand. Honestly, Jay Wynn with just the gutter ball and not much else has
He's kind of
not-
giving off I'm about to fold face there. Looked like he was about to laugh.
yeah, when the smirk starts to like creep into your face. Not that Anderson is really giving him the eye, but like, yeah, you don't really look like you belong in this hand anymore.
And I only had a small piece.
Jay Wynn does have a blocker to the 6-3, but like, is this the time to go for something like that? I don't think so. Let's see. Let's see what he goes for though.
Does have one heart. I mean,
So maybe that's right.
Oh, he's
oh,
gonna
he
do
is
it.
gonna talk himself into
He's
it.
gonna go for it. He's
Oh, he's
like,
going
no.
for a raise?
Yeah. He's like,
Okay,
I got
yeah,
the
yeah,
6-3.
okay.
I
That's what I
totally
thought he
do.
did. Yeah, it looked like he started talking himself into it. Like he was laughing, like, all right, I have a 6.
And
I have a 6
Anderson,
of hearts, which is even.
and Anderson
better.
here with the, I mean, flop
Second
second nuts. Like, if your
Backdoor
opponent is,
diamonds as well, so it's like he's gonna ship in here.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Jay Wynn is like, damn it, that was the last thing that I wanted you to do. And here you go, take my money. So $700 on the failed 3-bet from Jay Wynn is gonna go the way of Anderson. Nice pot there, Anderson.
I like what Jay Wynn's thinking there. Just ran into it that time. But that hand got out of control.
I like seeing these hands play out because it's tremendously entertaining. But I also know what it's like to be seated at the table and be like, man, wouldn't it be sick if this worked on the
They creeped
stream and
into your mind.
everything?
And that's what it looked like. I saw in his face, like when he started smirking. Like I was like, maybe he's laughing at thinking about playing his hand. But he's like probably thinking in his head, I got a 6 of hearts.
Yeah.
I can maybe pull this off.
Yeah, he's like, I got the key card or something. Question mark? Yeah, was not to be, but good try there. All right, on to the next one we shall go. As we got Jay Flats here dropping us a $2.99 super chat. Says LA has a lot of action, but Texas is fire now. That is absolutely right. Texas poker.
The weather is fire too.
It is. Yeah.
Scorching out there.
Anderson here, he's got another playable hand, so he has been on a little bit of a rush of playable hands. Whether or not they've all worked out for him is a little bit of a different story, but as of late, things have been going the right direction for Anderson, so he's going to raise this up to 30 bucks, see what happens. Raj going to call him.
And we got 3-bet here with Justin, 45.
And yeah, Jack 10 suited, definitely good enough to come along even out of position.
Did Raj cold call with ace?
He did. He called the 30, and now he's going to fold to this
Okay,
3-bet.
got it.
Yeah.
I thought I saw. Okay. Losing it.
So heads up to a flop. Justin in position with the pre-flop betting lead, and he's going to flop the best of it here. Pretty much the stone.
Yeah.
Anderson's like, huh, not the flop I had in mind to continue.
100.
Justin bets what looks like just one black chip, and then turns his hand over, I think, triumphantly, like, yeah,
I had
this
a little bit. I had a little bit there.
So this was before we were
He may have just folded the hand face down, but he, like, I thought I just saw him like turn it up, like, yep, that was pretty good.
Windsor Casino or whatever it was.
I mean, might even just like check that.
They might now, man. I have not been there in a long,
It
long
was
time.
too much of everything. It's hard to even get a call.
Yeah, you're like, I have pocket 10s, 2 red 10s over here. I
Yeah.
check, you know, and like see if your opponent tries to,
Give him a chance.
yeah,
Gets connected.
yeah. I feel you, and yeah, that's a pretty good candidate to do it with. If you're gonna try to find some like non-super nut hands like top set to go for it with. In fact, you'd rather do it with ace king with the king of spades there than with top set, because any old spade peels off and pocket 4s with the 4
Well,
spades
exactly.
just like
Exactly.
gets
Your
there
hand is
for
just not vulnerable to anything. All right, if they flop the set, they already got you. But if they have
yeah.
absolutely nothing, you have nothing to fear.
Exactly. Yep. But better 150. Just got Anderson go by the wayside. As Jay Wynn has a couple of 10s, not 2 red ones, but it's a spade and a diamond. And he will raise up to 35. Looks like we have a cascade of folds. Get the action tracker all caught up. Oh, Jason here on the button has done something with his black chip. This may just be a... This hand got screwed up. Super producer Carolyn letting us know that inputs got garbled, wires got crossed, and things will not be perfectly reasonable. But Steamdoll is going to take this opportunity to step out, so I will captain the ship here for the busted ass hand. Let's see here. Jason did put in a 3-bet. It looks like it was to 100 if I'm not mistaken. I see one black chip out there. And yes, J-Win is going to make a call. So heads up to a flop we go. Pocket 10s against Queen 10 clubs. And once we get everything read in here, we will take a peek at this flop. Oh, now we got Justin as the 3-better, but that is incorrect. We have a flopped set of 10s for J-Win. The case 10 going to come out, so second pair with a queen kicker for Jason on the button. And J-Win here flopping second set. It's also a rainbow flop, so pretty good one for J-Win to feel very confident and safe with. Let's see here. We've got a simply check bet of 100 and a call. So again, this is a little bit messed up. Justin is not in the hand. It is Jason with the queen 10 of clubs. So J-Win going to check. That I believe that was a check call from J-Win on the flop. So goes for another check. And Jason, after getting called on the flop and having the queen of clubs, this is very often going to be a time where it's like, if you were going to bet the 10 on the flop, you should start checking now. So I presume that we are going to go check, check on the turn, but as I say that, I am wrong. Jason is going to go for a second barrel. 225 this time. And a little bit curious because there's no like reasonable front door draws besides queen 10, and you block that with your queen of clubs that you can extract value from with this bet size. So yeah, it's going to go check raise from J-Win now on the turn, and indeed Jason is just going to have to let this go. So there you have it. J-Win will drag a nice little pot right there, and on to the next one we will go.
That's for you. Yeah. Good, that's for you.
I've seen Josh.
Sorry to leave you stranded there for a second.
School, we made it through, my friend.
I
We
know.
did. We powered through.
Remember,
We got the other side.
Captain the ship well,
I appreciate it. What's your name?
led
again?
us to victory.
Sam? Jay, nice to meet you. I think we played
And
together before,
on
right?
to victory, these players
No?
will attempt to
Are
go
you from
for
out of
this
town?
PLO bomb pot.
You play here a lot?
$10 ahead. As is this a scratcher? Is homie in the 1 seat doing a scratcher?
Okay,
Yes,
that's
he
why I
is.
know.
He's got the
yeah.
he's got
Crossword.
the crossword
You were
there.
going to get there, don't worry.
I know it's mine
I
too.
only took some.
That's
You
'cause it
do the
wastes
whole
more of
thing,
your time,
like,
that's why,
one
yeah.
word, one letter at a time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's nothing like wasting 10 minutes of your time on the crossword.
It's like, but it's the best investment. It's not just like scratch it off and carry your number.
And you always think like, oh, I think I'm gonna win this one. It just looks like I have all the letters.
And then they're like, how about a Q? How about a K? How about a Z? And then you burn the thing.
They're extending, right?
What they asked us about.
Ritual.
Round Rock, no, it's not.
That's right.
Yeah, 10 miles that way.
Yeah, no, I do get a kick out of those. And yeah, Will Armstrong, he brought about the scratcher ticket bomb pot. That was fun. Yeah, big fan of that.
Yeah.
Or splash pot, I guess I should say.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta throw them in there.
Yeah.
I haven't, I used to do all the scratchers. I haven't done much. Lately, we're trying to be better.
Yeah, not as much of a pure degen.
Trying to be better. I had enough of those problems.
Yeah, I pretty much limit myself to a crossword every once in a great while, just for the fun of it. Not a very good retirement plan, I will
No,
tell you
no, it's not. Unless it is, and you just smash the jackpot.
Yeah, the one out of
time.
3 million tickets or whatever. Yeah, it could happen. All right, so we're going to get all these cards scanned in here. As 8 of spades, 8 of diamonds there for Sammy. He didn't flop a set, though. He does have a gutter.
Can get there.
Yeah. Jay Wynn, he's got an 8 of hearts. And an up and down straight draw. I'm not seeing any, like, good hands here. I guess
Yeah.
Johnny is going to have up and down straight draw and top 2, so that is a pretty reasonable holding. He is going to call a bet of 100 from Justin, who has
Ace king of spades, Jason.
2 overs. Yeah, Justin here was the one who bet 100 with the up and down straight draw, the top end of it. So with no rep, I'm maybe a little bit more hesitant to bet this hand. It does have just 1 spade in hand as well, so and there is another spade.
Jason takes the lead
Being,
with that nut flizzle.
yeah. That will slow Justin right down. He'll be like, oh, cool, cool. I have a pair of 3s now, and pretty much done with this one, would be my guess. Yeah, there it is. Quick check. As Jason is like, oh, that's the card I wanted. So now I have the nuts. How do I get someone to put money in here? He goes full pot, and that may not get anyone else to come along, as no one that we can see has a set. Alex, unless he's sitting on some sort of pocket. No, he can't have it. I guess it could be pocket 9s, perhaps. The only hand that could be sitting out
taking
there.
bet up top and bottom pair here.
Oh, he's got 3 pair. Yeah, he's got the old 10-9-3 for 3 pair. But 700 is just going to be too steep. Alex out of the way, so yeah, this hand is over, as Justin will not be continuing, and Jason's going to drag that pot.
At 3 pair.
Somebody had a.
Matthew Mace asking, is the Omaha Bomb Pot only on the stream or everywhere? So, in fact, the Omaha Bomb Pot being once per dealer change and single board is unique to the stream. That is because, I mean, a couple of reasons, but the main one being that the single board is the only way that we can read it in the software at the moment. We are going to have the capability to do double board in the future, but not right now, I think. No, that's not true? Sorry. I thought there was an update to the software that was going to allow that.
Oh, yeah. I had the jack queen.
Yeah, but I thought you could read one in and do the other one. I don't know. Sorry. Maybe I misunderstood what someone was
Aaron's going
telling
off the
me
deep end, folks. Sorry about that.
Realities are
Off
hard.
the deep
Okay,
end.
I just fabricated
Everything
my own.
is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on the in the main room there, we play the double board PLO bomb pots many times. A dealer down.
Yeah, usually once per orbit, there's a little bomb pot button that goes counter to the normal rotation of the button. So once per orbit, you get bomb pot, and then on dealer changes sometimes. All right, let's take a look at what's going on here. So we've got a 3-bet pot and a call from Anderson. We're going to go heads up to the flop.
Anderson realizing he has the 8 of spades, and probably he's going to flop good here.
Yep. Dante out of position with or not. Yeah, total brick flop there for Anderson. Dante going to check back. Exercise a little bit of pot control here. Pretty harmless 5 of diamonds, however, it does give Anderson a gutter now. But Dante now going to take a stab at this 75, so this is a small bet, and yeah, just going to get Anderson to go ahead and fold out his little bit of equity. Dante will take it down. Caitlin joining us here in the chat. What's
CC.
up, Caitlin? Says, keep me off the deep end.
He's always
off-
on the deep end.
Yeah.
Falling off the deep end, especially in his car.
Oh, man. That is the unfortunate truth. But
It was unfortunate.
Oh yeah? How's that now?
Hey, I used to go to Vegas when I lived in California.
you ever been in an accident?
I'm not kidding.
Yes.
It's such a
Yeah.
short ride. I've never
Not
seen it.
self-inflicted,
It was actually
Okay.
pretty
but
good.
we've had our
gotta
we've
wait
had
for these
one
people.
way back.
And last month I was just in Hawaii and it was the
Nice
busiest
head-on
I've ever-
collision.
Oof. Head on.
SUV to SUV.
What?
And yeah, the lady I was driving on, it was a one-way, like a
Past 3
one-lane,
days before, you gotta upload
double
their website.
yellow line, little highway area.
Oh, you did? Okay, same thing.
Lady in a giant Durango swerved into me, wrong way. So
Yeah.
I was going nowhere to go, swerved into my lane head on, smashed up. I had a Mountaineer at the time, big SUV, but hers was much larger.
Walgreens on
And
Bell.
we
That's
didn't
where I went.
get hurt, but the car was totaled.
Thank
I
God
think it's
for
all
that.
the same.
I like saw it coming in slow mo. Felt like it was like one of those things. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
smash. And I like got right out of the car. I'm like, I'm fine, I guess.
Yeah.
And I looked at my car. I'm like, Oh my god.
How am I okay?
Smashed. Luckily, was able to like steer at the end, so it like the passenger. If there was anyone in the passenger side, they would have been in serious trouble. Because it like smushed in the whole passenger side.
Wow.
But, I was able to kind of veer at the last second there.
Uh-huh.
All the other ones are just little left taps.
Yeah. Yeah. Up
Nothing
until
major.
recently, I hadn't been in any, and then yeah, I had little UT gal rear end me. Just
Yeah, those are fun.
yeah. I mean, like, it honestly didn't leave that much damage. It was
Okay.
just a little scrape on the bumper, right? Like, I was able to punch the dent out, and it was no big deal. But yeah, it
It
was
was like, what are you doing? What are you looking at?
it was my first experience of like, oh, I just had a collision on the highway. But you know.
Him and his wife got really
All right, Raj here gonna limp queen jack, spades. Johnny gonna put in a small raise up to $30 here. With a couple of fives. Sammy went along. And Raj will complete. So 3 ways to flop.
3 ways.
A little bit over $100 in the middle. J-Stack joining us. Hey, what's going on, dude?
Mr. Stack.
Mr. Stack.
Set in the window. Set in the window.
had a lead, there were so many people there. The golden nugget was
Johnny.
one,
Set
two,
alert.
Set of fives.
uncapped.
Sammy
So
has
everybody
bottom
buying it
pair
for $3,000 or
with
$4,000
backdoor
for
diamonds.
1-2. It's
And
the
Raj
weirdest.
has 2 black cards that are nowhere near
Yeah,
these little babies on this flop. So checky. Sammy's gonna go ahead and
I
bet.
didn't play it.
I love the
And
gold. I mean, that's what I'm
Raj,
saying when I go up
I
golden again in
imagine,
September.
yeah, he's already done with it. And now it's on to Johnny. This is a very wet board. And wow, he's very animated over there. So not hiding the fact that he's feeling all nice and
Yes.
relaxed.
Johnny did open this pot, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then went for the check.
Yeah, I went for the check, so.
Check calling.
Check call. Interesting board to check call. So many bad turns for your hand here.
Yeah. Certainly
That's not a-
action killing
that's
ones
not a
like that
good
one.
one.
You know?
Do you have a long list?
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to fold, so it's not that scary. Like, you can definitely continue, but it just totally kills all the action. And then,
Oh, perfect ending
wow.
there.
Yeah. Oh, my
Oh, it
goodness.
checks it all the way down.
And now he's going to give him the
no,
head
yeah.
back
Oh
and
my
forth.
goodness.
The
this is
finger,
fun.
the hands
This has been a
crossed.
very interesting hand.
Yeah, and then he's like,
And he's gonna, I don't know what to do here. Smash it.
and
Oh, and a
Sammy's
quick
like,
call from Sammy.
yeah, Sammy didn't even think it through. He's just like, no,
Wow.
no chance. No chance you have.
All
better
the
than-
strong tells there, and just a snap off.
Well, we always have the advantage of like,
Like
we're up
looking
here,
right at
looking-
it,
yeah,
yeah.
we're like, look, I can see what he's doing, and Sammy's over there like, I have trip fours
Yeah.
with the ace. Like, don't let him know that I have this really strong hand.
Well, Johnny did play. I mean, he check, call, check, check.
Everybody had
You know, that's
freaking
a
black glasses.
strange way to play a set on the board.
Yeah. Jen V here in the chat says that Johnny is always animated. Stay tuned, commentators from his girlfriend. All right, well, fantastic stuff. Thank you for piping
Yeah,
up
he
there,
seems,
Jen.
Seems like an interesting fella.
Yeah, no, and he got max value on that one.
Yeah,
I
it
would
was
say.
great. Very fortunate.
Yeah, that was the one he could get paid on for sure. Got people coining the ram punt. Ram punt. we need Mikey to do some sound editing on that.
Yeah,
on
like-
that clip.
Yeah, we need like a young blood soundboard where you just start clicking buttons. Somebody's not here.
Raise to 40 from Dante out of the hijack. Ace-8 offsuit. A little bit speculative, but is going to just see if he can get it through the button into the blinds and maybe just take this one down. But he's going to face resistance in 2 spots. Jay Win out of the big blind. Sammy in the cutoff. Off to a flop we go. Nice little flop there for Sammy. Jay Win probably not hating it either. Dante with just ace high, still best, but doesn't feel it. He isn't going to continue. Like, once again on a king high board, opportunity for him in many instances, not this one to just sort of see that and take it down, but would have faced some resistance as it stands. Checks through. Jay Win now going to feel emboldened to take a probe stab at this. $60 to go, and now Dante will likely just have to fold. Get out of the way.
Yeah, you know, you're gonna play that hand. You got to take that opportunity to win on those boards. you know, there's not much you can do once you check that ace eight. Never going to really win that pot. Ooh, interesting card. We booked up a straight, and the flush comes in as well.
Yeah, pretty much the most action card we could have thought of. Sammy will make the best fit on the end. Jay Win, though, can keep going for value. 250 in the middle. This is going to be somewhere around a half pot size bet. And as long, oh, just 100.
It's like 40%.
And as long as Sammy doesn't go too big, right? Like he shouldn't go super polar here. Just, yeah, 325 is a great sizing. Maybe even could have gone just like 275. But either way, I guess Jay Win just done with it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean the old snap raise there in the river. There's a lot of danger out there.
Apparently, I refuse to read the laws. I do. I see a law and I can't say it.
Can't see it?
I can't say it.
They
Can't see it. Can't say it. Can't see it.
Never saw it.
Oh man. All right, onwards and upwards we go. As man, there are a lot of chips on this table. Once we get that chip count graphic back up there, we'll get an idea of just exactly how many chips are on the table.
There.
But yeah, well, I missed it, so
We
I'm
both
blind.
missed it.
Yeah, graphics are hard. Jason, not a believer in the 6 tray. Yes, Anderson there getting himself a tune-up from licensed massage therapist
I had one
from
of those
Texas
earlier.
Royalty.
Very necessary. As soon as she got onto the back area, she was like, "Oh my goodness, what's wrong with your back?"
Yeah, that's pretty much what Brittany tells me as well. So yeah, I'm always knotted up back there. But yeah, Brittany, one of the best. Always good for loosening up those muscles in the neck and back.
Loosen up those muscles.
What's the rest of the rap? Come on, bro.
Ah, no, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I don't know. We've got a bet and a call. As both players with Squadouche. Raj at least has a gutter.
Justin picked up a flushy flush draw.
And a gutter of his own. So that was about the best card that could have popped up for Justin's little 5 tray of hearts. And he will continue betting and take it down. There we go.
Good work, Mr. Justin.
Once you're there, it's expensive.
I like that. The reverse 10K challenge. How to lose 10,000.
Jedi Master Ted calling me out for later if he's coming to play. I will be on the field later after this.
Oh, and then you just
retracted.
Oh, man.
I knew you didn't want to play against me.
Yeah. I mean, who does, right? I mean,
Everyone. Depending on my mood.
well, maybe Baccarat, but I don't know about Hold'em. You can't blind bet against you in that game or in this game and have the same results.
My buddy went, he just couldn't
All right, we've got a UTG Open here from Jason. Queen, Jack of Diamonds. And number 46, just about the halfway point of the broadcast. Jason here, taking it up to 40 bucks. Sammy coming along with a flat call, ace-10 offsuit. And nobody else interested in this one. We're going to go heads up to a flop. Jason going to be out of position. Sammy with the ace high is going to be out flopped by Jason, but does have a gutter to Broadway. So Ray here, been a hell of a day. Just cracked a cold one. Cheers, everybody. Well, cheers to you, brother. Thanks for joining us. Glad you are spending your evening hanging out with us, watching the fine game of No Limit Texas Hold'em here on TCH Live. As we're going to get an ace on the turn. It is a heart, so potentially a little bit of action killing dynamics. But Sammy is going to pick up a pair. Jason will continue. A little over half the pot here for 100 bucks. Sammy call. Off to a river we go. Can Sammy get bailed out? No, he will not. Jason will win if we make it to showdown. A little bit of a tricky spot. Yeah, maybe just go for the check and just go check call mode. But it is just going to be a quick check back and 2 pair will get the job done. Yeah, that one's always tricky. I mean, I find myself frequently doing the same thing of just sort of like, there's not too many hands that I feel confident about getting value from. And if I get raised, it's just
It's
gonna
just a
suck,
bad spot, right?
So
It's like, you know, maybe give some, you know, it depends on your opponent, but give them a chance to bluff some kind of draw they had, or turn a hand into a bluff on the end, and be able to have a good hand for bluff catching. But yeah, it's just such a bad. You go for like a half pot on the river, and they raise, and you're just like, ah, why did I bet?
Yeah.
Because there's just so many hands.
yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, there's nothing quite worse than like, well, no, there are hands I could get value from, and then they just snap raise you. You're like,
I'm always straddle.
But sometimes the bet fold is a, you know, gotta have it in your repertoire. Otherwise, you're probably not getting enough value.
yeah, you got to go thin. Go thin or go home, bro.
Thin to win, baby. We say it on the golf course. We say it at the table.
All right.
Thin would be if you strike the ball low on the club face. That we call that thin.
Okay.
It's a thing on the course.
Yeah, I know. I do that all the time. I just top it and
Yeah.
just send it.
Well, top
rolling.
it's a little too low. You hit it just a little low. It goes lower, but it still goes far.
No,
The
I'm
top,
not a good.
top is not.
I'm not a good golfer, so I go real thin to
You're
win,
extra.
and then I don't win.
you go for the thin to lose.
Exactly. Thin to, you know, hit it
Well, if
12 times.
If you
12
can still
strokes.
find your ball, that means you're doing something good.
Yeah, usually it just bounces a few times and ends up on the fairway, about 30 meters down.
That's fine.
Apparently.
It's better than those, some of the guys that hit the old big banana slice into the neighbor's yard there
Through the window.
while they're sunbathing. And they go, these damn golfers,
Why did I build my home so close to
so
this thing?
silly. Learn how to play.
Oh man, how long you been golfing? Like, did you grow up golfing?
I picked it up in actually like freshman year of high school.
Okay.
And I did play on the high school golf team. No one in my family played. I just asked for some clubs, and I figured it out. I played hockey, and I was able to translate it.
Yeah,
I
they're
wasn't
basically
super
the same
good. I
motion.
wasn't super good, but I was good enough to play on the team there.
Johnny not going to go for the squeeze here out of the straddle with the ace-jack of diamonds. I think against early middle position open and a flat call from the big blind, that was a reasonable spot to go for a squeeze, but Johnny's going to play it as a flat, and he is going to be in a pretty good spot to get additional chips in the middle with the best hand. As Jason go ahead and lead at this.
Interesting.
40.
Take it. Well, take it off.
Both Johnny and JL.
9
gonna
will be
call.
interesting.
Let's go 9 of hearts.
10's not too uninteresting.
Yeah, Jason makes a pair.
Does
but
he continue the story here?
I think that would be a mistake, but Jason is looking at his chips, and he's like, well, I picked up equity, and my hand is probably never good, so let's go. Bet of 150. And yeah, I think Johnny really no sense in doing anything other than just calling, and JL is going to be like, what the hell is going on here? And he'll probably have to call too for 150 by the time it gets to him. How you doing over there, buddy? I hear the
Yeah.
rumbles going on. You need
didn't
you need
eat
some
today.
manicotti or something?
No, I know. That's what happens when your belly's filled with espresso and nothing else. They go. So Johnny did decide to raise here, and I was wondering if he might just do that to get out some draws that are behind him.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't. Some players do that. And they're like, I'm scared. Let me raise now. I think I have the best hand.
Yeah,
I wanna
this-
see a river.
Yeah, this is like the
Yeah.
find out where you are raised.
Yeah,
Right?
this is the old school mentality. Let me find out where I'm at here.
Yep. He's going to find out that he had the best hand, and no more chips will go in the middle.
That is.
As he's just going to take it down.
Yeah, it's
I haven't opened that video yet,
back. Do you ever watch any of the Daniel Negreanu when he
Old
breaks
school
down the
versus
old
new
versus new
school?
school? Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if he does a great job at doing the difference there, but it's one of those mentalities. That spot would have been raised often back then, and now probably played more as a call to continue letting them bluff and get more value.
Yeah, even in the multi-way pot there, because you're you're potentially just building a pot against hands that are crushing you, right? Like ace 10, ace 8, like maybe, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't accomplish much. So it gets them to fold the hands that you have beat already, and then if they continue, it's like either a really strong draw or a hand that already has you beat, and now you built the pot.
yep. Yeah, because if there was a combo draw that was going to continue, like, you certainly weren't pricing them out. So
Yeah.
they were actually just like, all right, you built the pot some more, and
If I get there, we're gonna get paid.
yeah, we gonna get the money. Jay Win here raising up to $30. Beautiful hand, ace king of diamonds. I love looking down at that one.
It's nice when you see it.
I think I hear. Yes, I hear some table audio. Some buttons were pushed, some dials were turned, and we can now hear the table audio in our headset.
I knew you were thinking that too.
Oh, I may have been muted.
No.
Oh, never mind. That's
those
conversation over
mediocre
there.
hands I
All
keep
right.
calling with.
So, can you adjust the volume of said thing? Because maybe just turn it down just a smidge.
I didn't want to
Yeah.
see another card.
Okay. How's that for you? Good.
That's yeah, we have a small rumbling of the table audio in our ears now, which is nice.
Yeah.
We could probably pick up.
Yeah, so it's an IPA. It's from Pint House.
I think it's
Okay.
good in my ears. Is it good for you?
Yeah.
Is it good for you, Aaron?
It was okay.
Was it? It was only okay.
It was
I'll work
alright.
on it. Don't worry.
Yeah, you went a little too thin. You went and I don't know.
I'll try to hit it a little fat next time.
Oh my goodness. All right. Caitlin here in the chat. Find out where I'm at. Strategy is how I approach dating men. I love it.
Yeah, you can take all your poker strategy to real life.
Oh my god. All right. Well, this is kind of cool. I mean, it will be tough for me to stop jabbering.
Shimmering. Are we confirmed that what we're hearing is like what we're looking at? Okay. Because that could be even weirder.
I can see what I'm looking at, man. These schnozberries
Yeah, I
are
can
doing
hear
good
Anderson
work.
counting his chips out. Okay, perfect.
All right, fantastic. All right, well, we'll see.
Chat's going out of bounds.
Yeah, well, I think we started it. So, all right, sun's out, guns out here. JL, rocking this tank. Have I been
yeah.
missing this the whole time, or did I take off some sort of jacket? I think.
I think we were just not paying attention.
Yeah, that's almost certainly
So
true.
certainly right.
I was jammering away. All right, so we've got a limp from Rock. Justin, he will not be limping this hand. Justin, not the kind of guy to limp.
No, he's not a limper.
He's not a limper.
Oh, we got double ace king here. Let's see how this goes.
Double ace
Double
to
ace
king.
king.
Oh, he's going to put in the raise, take it up to 125. And in these late position battles like this, hijack versus cutoff, this is definitely a
Slam
spot.
dunk 4-bet.
Yeah, slam dunk. Raj is already out of the way. Justin now has to choose the appropriate size, as this was a relatively large 3-bet, right? This was like 4x over the 35 open.
I think. Yeah, I was gonna say like I think 3x after that larger 3-bet is probably fine. I think he went a little bigger than that.
Yeah, just a shade, but this is effectively
that's
a
about
3x.
where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah, and with the stack depth, this is pretty good. All of the money can easily get in when you are doing this with your aces and kings type holdings and actually looking to get the pot built to put all the chips in. And so then you're going to want to balance that with the similar play with your ace-king offsuits, which are basically going to be your sort of bluffing holdings. And there we go. Jason going to put in the call. So heads up to a flop we go. Both players controlling.
A little over 800 in the pot already.
And
is it all hearts?
It is. Justin not going to hate that, although it does not pair him. So all of his opponent's holdings that were jacks, tens, etc., maybe even queens can definitely. The queen is definitely just calling 4-bet there in position most of the time. Are still out in front, but Justin will go for the small continuation bet. A little over 1/3 pot here.
That is the standard approach. Does it just give up time here?
I think it is. So Jason is going to have a lot of those tens, jacks, queens, especially some other holdings that are going to have a heart in it, right? Like ace king with a heart.
Maybe probably one of the worst hands he has here.
Absolutely.
Ace king with no heart.
Yep. Yeah, definitely a spot, even for the price that you're getting in position, like a float there. It's just going to be so hard to continue. Even if your opponent checks the turn, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to just check and, like, hope it goes check, check again on the river? There's just too many actions that need to line up for you to get to showdown where you might be good. That just let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
I got you to do it.
I mean,
Brainwashed him.
yeah, I can't not do that when you start
This
it.
is another one.
so.
I'm gonna have to have my.
It's a social contract we all made.
That's right.
No point lying on the live stream like that.
A couple hockey sticks here for
I'm
Jay.
gonna say.
Ray,
Jacks.
I'd play Jack.
Raj likes these offsuit three gappers.
Could have been chopped. You have ace king.
Does have the eight of spades. I don't know.
It's just a
if he's-
two
I don't know
gapper.
if he's-
All right, it's just a two gapper.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I mean, you
Feels
could.
We
like
can't
three
read. We
gappers.
can't read. It should be an extra gap if it's offsuit. That's what I was thinking.
There you go.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
I can't start with that guess.
All right, Dante gonna come in for a call on the button, and we are gonna go multi-way here. 4 ways to a flop. A couple of middling to small pairs represented, and
Anything under.
some eights.
Maybe including jack two, just calling.
There's a set. Justin gonna flop middle set. Jay win effective second pair, and Dante and Raj whipping this one pretty hard.
Jay Webb, I was curious to see if he continued on this board or not. I think with the 7 of diamonds, I said he could have continued.
Yeah, he had the pre-flop.
Yeah, he was the
Bowie?
aggressor. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a board that he definitely could have continued betting on. Just probably missing a lot from his range.
Yeah, I
Maybe
like
not.
a 1/3 sizing
Yeah.
there, just to sort of clear the field
Clear
of
the
all
field
the.
out, yeah. And then you have some, turn on diamond, you can continue. And you have the best hand a lot of the time. They're probably going to call with their like ace 5, 5-4, 5-6 hands as well.
As it stands, it goes check, check, bet 40 and call. To a turn heads up we go. That's going to be a 10 of diamonds. No help to Jay-Win.
10 of clubs.
Sorry. That's a diamond. Excuse me, Steve. I don't know
10 of
why.
diamonds is a much
I just
more
transposed.
interesting card for sure, but the 10 of clubs it does not do much.
Suits are hearts, people. Suits are hearts. 10 of diamonds, right there. Y'all can see it.
I was like, am I looking at this back? No, I know what's going on.
No, I just completely zoned out and like was thinking about diamonds and like I don't know, 10 of diamonds. It's great.
But that, so like Jay-Win's in like an awkward spot, having checked, kind of facing aggression. Because there are some draws that are gonna be betting here that he is ahead of, but it's like, his hand has little improvement possibilities.
Thank you.
And if he calls now and faces a blank, he's gonna probably try to check call.
Yeah, I don't envy this position,
Yeah.
and these are always the toughest spots, I think, for me and for just about everybody. When you have a middling pair and you just like, this hand sucks, but like it might be better than my opponent.
Exactly.
What the hell do I do with it?
And it's good to get away from it there, because I think he would have drug himself into a river call on some runouts.
Yep, absolutely. Stephen McIntyre here. What's going on, buddy? It was great having you on the stream the other night. So that was fantastic. We need more. We need more of the chat pros out on the felt to show us how it's done.
What are you saying about Jay Win?
My third time shadowing.
Third time shot?
I've never noticed it.
Oh.
Can anybody substantiate that?
A little
I
back
actually
and forth.
Every other.
It's nice to hear, be able to hear the player audio now. It's
Yeah, that is
fantastic.
cool. So
Big
I-
upgrade in the booth.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure like what sound level we're at in terms like if we're just like talking over people at the table or what. But no, I like being able to hear it. Headset, that is pretty cool. Anderson here with 7 deuce going to try to show him how it's done.
7 deuce or 7 tray. That's how we do it here.
Yeah, and this is going to come down to a battle of wills because neither player has anything here. Check, check. Ooh, there's a deuce. Anderson going to catch his miracle deuce, and Jay Wynn is going to bet it. Over bets with totally nothing, and Anderson calls with this is my favorite. 4 on the end. Jay Wynn now here is like, wait, he called? I guess I can't give up now. Another 60?
They're having some fun with each other here at a couple battles.
I got a 9.
What?
Wow, the 4 doesn't change really anything.
7 deuce. I really did.
Oh, Jay Wynn gets it through, bets another 60 on the end, tells Anderson he has a 9, and Anderson believes him, or believes that whatever he has is better than the deuce, but no, Jay
Bad fold, Anderson.
Wynn. Yeah, come on, bro, you have the 7 deuce, you make a pair and you fold?
At least you call and lose and show 7 deuce.
Yeah, you freaking nut.
Oh, wow.
Stephen McIntyre here, he says, thanks again for having me. Want to come back in the fall. And
Yeah, what do we think about a
asking
round
Mike
in
if he
inventory?
enjoyed those fine beverages that he
I
provided
mean,
him.
I've been trying to do it every time, except when he forgets to remind me.
Starting now.
All right.
Oh, it says lost. It says lost.
All right, we got that hand all wrapped up, and we're on to the next one. Just getting everything caught up in the action tracker.
I got a permit.
The graphics are Anderson.
And the governor just signed the bill.
Yeah, it's like, you see the highlighted
You are
deuce
winning,
here?
Anderson. How dare you?
September? No, it goes in effect September. I believe September, October.
September.
Which I don't believe.
I'm not thinking he's moving away.
All right, so
I thought you looked at me like,
Oh, I was like, what are you, man? You're really deep in the tank for 40 bucks. I know you were thinking about it.
Justin
Yeah,
is 35.
Yeah, the
we
right.
did?
You got a personal.
I was deep in the tank. It's like,
Getting maxed out, you know.
how do we get that guy to
Gotta
come?
think about
give me a second.
There's having a good time. And that is the fun part about poker, is that it's just a bunch of dudes, maybe some gals, hanging out around a poker table,
Oh, it's definitely
shooting
GTO
shit,
call,
playing some
right?
games. And, yeah, you're gambling for money and all trying to take each other's money. But it can be just a really fun time. So always love to see it. You guys having a good, jolly.
Yeah, especially when the game is like this and the players are, you know, chatty and having a good time and positive. Every once in a while, they run through those games where everyone's kind of staring at each other like they're miserable. But in Texas, we usually play like this.
No sets this time.
Justin with the flizzle.
And Anderson up and down straight draws. So several players with enough to continue. Jason has the bottom pair. He should probably just be getting out of the way here. No heart to be seen. So he'll take a peek and, I don't know, 2 checks up front, maybe. You could continue.
He's gonna continue here.
Now Anderson getting a really nice price to continue closing the action. Ooh, and what do you know?
Gets in. Look at that.
The best turn on the turn for Anderson. He's going to check.
Give it a clear continue telling the story, I thought, from Justin, but he is checking.
Yeah, maybe hoping that this is exactly what happened. Check, check down the line. Oh,
Oh,
Jason
wow.
going to get roped in now as he will pick up 2 pair on the river.
There's a spot that Anderson needs to take the lead here. Maybe something like 2/3. He
Yeah.
does check it.
I'm not sure about that. I think he's going to get the bet here this time. The problem here is going for the check raise is almost never going to get paid off, because even if your opponent somehow has like the miracle 2 pair
It just looks
river
so strong.
set or something,
Yeah.
right? Like you get check raised on the river, you're just always gonna fold.
400.
But he's gonna go for it. 400 now. Justin is out of the way, and yeah, I think Jason can find the fold button here. Although I say that, and now I look, and he's getting
Well,
pretty good price. He needs to be right about 1 in 4 times. He's got 2 pair. And Anderson hasn't shown any aggression this entire time. So, a little bit weird.
yeah, and again, like, it's like counterintuitive to what I said. Is like, who's going to check that river with that action with a strong hand to hope to get a check raise through, and it looks like the opponent's behind who checked through the turn. So it does work for Anderson. Hits the
Yeah,
call.
gets paid off there.
But I still think that the lead, maybe like 2/3 there, is probably the most sound strategy with that hand.
We got Yay here in the chat. He says, having some friends over for poker tomorrow. So, all right, on 3, we're going to say it. Are you ready? You see it?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Mr.
Mr. Wolak
Wolak
is a nit. All right, there you go. We got it for you.
But is he nittier than our friend Lottie?
Latte?
We need a Lottie nit meter.
Yeah. Dude, Latte has, he's unknitted himself
I know.
a lot recently.
Well, he's
Have you seen this?
He's always been capable. That's what he has moments, but he is a general nit, but he has bluffing capabilities.
Yeah. No, and like,
But I feel like he has loosened up quite a bit since he's been playing on the streams.
and just gotten a little bit of maybe swagger in his step, you
Yeah.
know? Like, he's gotten away with some stuff, and he's like, you know what? I can go for some 3
Hey,
bets
man, you
here.
better capitalize on that image, because no one has a better nit image than him.
Yeah. Damn straight. All right, ace high flop here. Johnny has second best hand. King 9 high. Raj, King 10 high.
I flopped this. Yeah. But
But Johnny is just going to go ahead and continue betting, and yeah, he'll take it down.
my plan was because I had.
Mike Youngblood says no one is that nitty. Oh man.
Lot of 10, $10 flat.
3 falls.
Someone
on
has to
6,
be that
you know.
nitty.
Double stress. So much pressure.
Oh, I'm sure they exist. In fact, well, you were out in Vegas. You probably saw some.
Yeah, there were some
Players
good
that
nits out
rivaled
there.
these
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, people love to fold in Vegas games.
And limp, I hear. A lot of limping?
Not in the game I was playing in the 2-5.
Okay.
There was not much limping. But everyone was playing very snug pre-flop.
Okay.
You gonna tank again?
Picking up a lot of
Yeah,
small blind, big blind.
Yeah, it's easy to, you don't really do that in Texas, or you raise and get the blinds.
Yeah, what is that?
But
The blinds are an
you
afterthought.
kind of like remembered. I was like, I remember what this feels like. Like, growing up and playing in Atlantic City, was similar. It's like you raise, people fold, you take the blinds, or you 3-bet and the initial raiser folds, and you're like, oh, that's why. That's what 3-betting is all about, right?
Yeah.
But here it's like 3-bet, call, and it starts with a cold call.
Yeah.
You're 5x 3-bet, cold call.
You're like, sweet. We got $450 in the pot and a $5 blind.
Yep.
None of this winning $7 crap. All right, we got Alex dropping a 3-bet on these fellas out of the cutoff, taking it up to 175. Once again, choosing the large sizing and going to get this one through. Dante found himself in the mix with the 6 tray of spades, and his the last one fold.
California kids.
All right, taking a look at the chip counts, 4.7K at the top there for Johnny. Anderson, Jay Wynn, Jason all on about 3K. Justin not far behind, and everybody at 1.5 or more. So plenty of chips on this
I
table.
needed somebody. I was winning that hand.
As we thought would happen.
You got all 4 aces in the family.
Yeah. Something was gonna hit.
Oh, I mean, you don't have to. I don't care.
Give me a beer. I'm not gonna turn
I don't want to mess with the rhythm, and the pyramids. You're responsible for that.
Say magical.
I'll be honest.
It's also kind of nice having the table chatter going on, the banter, the table banter, because like if there is like a moment where I just kind of like stop and look at the chat, I don't feel like I'm not saying anything or
Yeah, it's not
holding
empty
space.
space anymore.
Yeah, pretty cool.
you know, we're trying to
175.
make sure we take care of our chat, you know. Let's give you all some attention.
That's right. Gotta feed the chat pros every once in a while, just not the trolls. All right, JL here, raising from middle position with ace-8 offsuit, getting himself 3-bet by Alex. Alex is like, this 3-bet stuff seems to be working, so let me try it again with 6-5.
We like that, I think, from late configuration. Late middle configuration.
Yeah, I'm not gonna want to see a flop tonight.
Jay-Win letting his opponent know I didn't want to see a flop. Happy to take it down now, so there you go.
Large king, hello,
Isn't that like the
All the moves from Jay Win.
concept?
Even some that I'm unfamiliar with.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I know he's, you know, he's not doing anything without a sound plan, or at least a plan in his mind, and why.
Yeah, Jay-Win definitely a very strong player. I've had several encounters with Jay-Win on the felt. And yeah, tricky player to play against, that is for sure. We had one really fun hand that played out. I mean, this was probably a month ago or something, or maybe even more. Where we had a 3-bet on the river. Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah. No,
You don't see
was
many of
great.
those?
No, no, it was great. And
200.
he was bluffing, and I so he bet the river, and I value raise, and then he went for the 3-bet, and I was like, I don't know about this, you know, like it just didn't feel like he could have anything. So I looked at it.
I was gonna go with flawless victory.
That was nicely done, Dave.
Not so take that, James.
Come on. I'm gonna say king.
Sounds like the crew's having a good time on the table.
Saw a king on the bottom of the deck.
Flop with 10s on the button.
I think kings would make sense.
No
We were talking about
contest.
8, 9 spades. Maybe if we didn't slam the table.
All right, so 491 of you fine people hanging out with us here tonight. We do always appreciate you coming along for the ride. And we hope that you will join us each and every week. We've got this program running on Thursdays,
Dante.
each and every Thursday. All right, we do. And we've also got 510 uncapped, very frequently been a 510 25 game here on Monday on TCH Live, coming out of TCH Austin. You can also pick up the action from TCH Dallas, cash games running on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, starting 6 p.m. Central Time. And we've also got the final tables of the Saturday tournament out of TCH Dallas on Saturdays, and the final table of the WPT Steps tournaments coming out of TCH Austin on Sunday. So be sure to tune in each and every day for this action, as we are going multi way.
Fun, baby.
And Sammy gonna pick up the best of it with flop top pair, king kicker. Nobody else with a real strong piece of this. Both Dante and Justin may be convinced to take off on the street with effective second pair. But everybody else is pretty much ready to pull the ripcord and bail out, I do believe.
Dante will be closing the action here, so he might. Oh, well, Justin did call, so I might incentivize Dante to lay it down. Oh wow! And Jason calls with the deuce, 9 deuce, bottom
Nice.
pair, just feeling it. So somehow we ended up going 4 ways to the turn here.
And this may just check through now, because Sammy may just be like, what on earth are these guys doing? However, he could try to deny equity from club flush draw, but
Just check. Does go to the river with some 9 of hearts.
9s and deuces.
And 9 deuce Jason with a miracle run out.
Yeah, let's go. We got JT in 1968 here dropping a $9.99 super chat. Thank you very much, dude. He says, apparently streaming TCH Live while at the table is good for you, knock on wood. In for 300 at 1-2 and currently up a little over 600. Locked into major lockbox mode. I'm guessing lockbox mode. L. Oh, L. Caitlin, I read the LOL this time. It was all caps, so I could see it. Well, good for you, JTN. 1968. Thanks for joining us. And congrats on doing well at the table so far.
He's gonna punt it all off. Don't worry. We know you like the steam punt off, just like me.
The ram punt.
So the river goes check, and Jason does take it down with the 9 dizzle.
$100 lead out there. Somebody's gonna figure it out.
Stephen McIntyre says his brother's going to be coming to Austin a lot with a new job, and he was trying to tell him about us guys. Well, Stephen, yeah, if your brother wants to get in on the action, if he's a poker player, then let him know how your experience went and how to get into the lineup, and we'll see what we can do. Absolutely. Anybody else looking to play this game in or around the Austin area, or just want to come on in and visit? Information on how to get in touch with us is scrolling along the bottom of the screen there. You can shoot us an email or shoot a text to the number down there at the bottom, and we will do our best to accommodate you, to let us know as far in advance as you can, as there are always long lists of players waiting to get in.
3-8.
What do you chase on? Top pair?
I don't remember. This was like
Ace high.
4 weeks ago.
Little people getting out of line over here. And, the jail takes it down.
Yeah, so we've still got an hour and a half left in the broadcast. We usually see this kind of like, all right, I got like 2 cards, and I'm going to 3-bet you stuff, like come in the last like half an hour, 20 minutes. But these players are getting ready to spice this up. We've heard a lot of like laughter. They're having a good time, and I think the players are ready to go after each other.
Mix up the action, yeah, with the 3-bet there to 265 with the queen 6.
Yeah.
After getting up with my 950. So that's I think we're in that zone now.
Yeah, there also may be a certain amount of alcohol consumption that may be fueling some of this. And after 2.5 hours, the players may just be
settling into their proper zone. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, you get the BAC high enough, and then it's like, queen 6. I think that's a limp back raise candidate.
Back raise, yeah. He was hearing. Well, he heard us talking about balancing that strategy.
Yeah, you pick 2 cards and you limp back raise them. That's how you balance.
Well, Anderson has a real hand here, so let's see how this goes.
Here's a real GTO play.
Jason announces real GTO play, flicks in a call.
Anderson's like, what is going on? I open the 50, and the whole table's calling.
Sammy puts in a big raise, though.
Oh, okay.
He's going to squeeze with ace queen.
Oh, righty. Look at all this dead money out there.
$50 party, not that one.
Honestly, like 325, it seems like a reasonable size, but with all of the dead money in there, this is like a pot-sized bet, so maybe even just gone a tad bigger, as if you get any calls up front, it's just going to be a cascade of calls down the way. Ace queen won't do very well against the field. However, Andy is going to go for the 4-bet, and that will fin the field.
I don't know why you're staring at me.
As Dante will get his TV time with the 8-6 off suit before he looks at it one last time.
Get in there, Dante.
GTO approved.
The Sammy ship it, yeah. The all-in and call.
I like to hear that.
For 1.3 effective.
I had 1 ear.
I had 6
With the ace out there as well. Top set.
Oh, you need a 10 now?
Not out of the woods yet.
Jack 5 by 5.
More out of the woods.
Right.
Officially out of the woods.
Yeah, and burns up an ace here for Sammy at the end. So one of those not coming. Off to the second run out we go. Another safe board for Anderson. Oh! There's the ace. Going to need to find one of the last kings.
Choppy Rooney.
Chop it up. Unfortunate run out there for Anderson, as, I mean, that's like the dream scenario.
There was only 1 ace left in the deck because one was sold.
Yes. Against.
A little bit unfortunate, but Anderson does get half the pot back and gets to keep the chips in front of him.
Well,
So
that's what you get for running it twice.
you're a run it once.
I'm going to run it once.
I opened it for
It doesn't matter
Don't
whether you're
waste
ahead or
time.
behind
Just
or
go
whatever.
for it. Waste of time.
But then a king flops, so like a fuck.
I like that.
I have
I'm
6-8.
not exclusive, but I do tend to run it once more than twice.
Yeah.
Oh, suited.
I don't know why you were thinking. I was like, what is he thinking
Well,
about?
Unless I'm playing a game that I shouldn't be
Like,
playing
50,
way over
like,
my
four
head.
drugs,
That
he's
might be a
thinking
different
about
story.
This is my entire Baccarat bankroll right here. I better run it twice.
Log 10,
Maybe just for the sweat.
Do you ever go full
I was not
degen
sweating you.
and just like let it ride? Like just push all your chips out and just
What do you think?
like, is this a regular occurrence for you? Is this how you go broke every time you go to Vegas? It's like, well, I was up about 3K and then I
We,
put it all on black.
Well, here's the thing. If I get up early, if I go start the trip,
If you
and the
get it
first
up,
thing I do
sorry,
is
what?
win,
Oh.
I always win. Like
Okay.
I don't. I'm good at once I get a start. When I start bad is when it gets
Can I just
when
give it
it's
20
bad.
now?
Ah, so you spiral. Okay.
No,
Spiral.
the ref.
Yeah.
I think it's just 20.
But if the first thing we do is a positive action, we're good at building it.
Okay. Excellent. Well,
you.
dude, we need
Yeah, but
we
we'd
need
like
to be
to
in
shove.
Vegas
We'd like
at the
to
same
shove.
time
Yeah.
sometime. I think we'd have a good time.
Yeah, I'm into it.
All right, Justin went for the loose open here from middle position with big lick. Gets 3-bet by Jason and makes the call. Both players going to flop a pair.
Club in a spade.
Justin will be on the hook for at least
I
one
think it's
street of
low value.
value here, I would presume.
Good board for like a 40% or 1/3ish type sizing.
Yeah, 65.
Yeah, 65 into 220, so yeah, opting for the just under 1/3, honestly.
Yeah, that was very small.
Nice turn card as you pick up additional equity and your opponent is going to 4-bet you with ace queen like a reasonable amount of the time, plus you just like block ace queens of the world anyway, so ace 10 is pretty much the only like rational ace that you're getting value from, so you know that's a potentially a spot where you could go for the bet check bet line.
Yeah,
Right.
And that's. I was gonna say exactly what I was gonna say about the small. Like, if you do turn the club, you can check back the turn.
Yeah,
and
because
then,
like what are you
get
afraid
value
of?
on the river, or have them try to bluff the clubs or something. Like sometimes people get a little out of line there if it goes club, and they might bluff at it from up front. But
I'm pretty confident.
no harm, no foul there.
I like the flop, like the turn even better.
That's right, the double straddle.
We have a $10 and a $20 straddle here coming out Jay Wynn and Anderson.
Well,
We'll
I'm
get
down again if we get some gold. I mean, in
folds
the
all the
last
way
hour,
over
we
and
got
around to
some.
Dante, who's going to limp the 5 deuce of diamonds. So Dante just keeps this move coming. Yeah, I know. Seriously, make another note.
Oh, no.
It's funny because I have chats with Dante specifically about this sort of stuff, and he can't break the habit. You know, it's
Right.
like he's
It's like it's like a muscle memory.
yeah. He's like, I have cards.
A couple
And I want to
players
play
leave,
them.
and then other people fill in.
Big raise from Mr. Anderson, which I kind of like in this
So
spot.
what we did
Just
2
like,
weeks
let's
ago, which made
get it down to heads up or nothing.
and then we had them
Yeah, absolutely. A win here, uncontested pre, with all that dead money out there is a big win. With just ace high, so definitely not a problem. He will show it. He'll be like, no, I'm not just pushing you guys around. So maybe the next time he goes for the 10x squeeze.
With queen.
So my guess is
Yeah,
Look at
let's
it.
go.
He's like, yeah, I was trying to get called this time.
and then
Yeah, I just feel like in that spot, people tend to not raise large enough. And like we've seen a few times where you don't make it large. Once that first person calls, everyone calls in behind getting a
let's
good
go ahead and
price.
get some conversation going about that.
And
We
now,
go
you know,
after
you're going 4 ways.
5-5.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Get rid of the one. You know.
You could just take the $80 or $90 in the middle there and just run away with it.
No, absolutely.
Or get called by a hand that you dominate, like if someone has ace jack, ace queen there.
fold, fold.
All right, what do you say we sit back and see if anything interesting
Raise,
is
60, fold,
in the table chatter? Confirmed.
fold.
Oh, sorry, I got 2. Oh wait,
I pushed my morning meetings all the way back to 8 a.m. So I'm sleeping in tomorrow.
3 players.
Unfortunately, that's a true story. 'Cause I usually have to get up at like 5.
Check.
It's just that I work in the UK, so they're 6 hours ahead. So even when I'm online by 6 a.m.,
You're late for the party.
it's noon.
Yeah.
Fold. Pick up. Check.
Fortunately, I'm wired to only need like 5 hours of sleep a night, so consistently, so it works pretty well.
It's a little short for me. 6 is
Bet.
Yeah, 6 is what I shoot for, but I can do several nights at 5. And I mean, I don't usually, but like when I go to, I guess when I'm traveling or like if I want to stay up late one night,
Fold.
Yeah.
even one night, I'm
Got a
3 hours. I don't know.
I always try to catch up on sleep when I'm on vacation. It's here. It just never worked out that way. I end up sleeping less when I'm on vacation.
How long are you here?
All right, yeah, that's been
6
my
nights
time.
total.
Thank
This
you all
is
very
the
much.
second night.
Okay.
I'm here. I fly out real early Tuesday
Take
morning.
care of that.
Yeah, nice.
Don't fall.
Monday's probably just an all-nighter. Like I can
What else are you, anything else you're trying to figure out?
No, just bars. Just basically all the mundane, normal stuff that I haven't been able to do for
Well, you already knocked out Terry Black.
Yeah, exactly. I want to check out the music live.
Yeah, dude, 6th Street's great.
Yeah, exactly. When I was gonna do that last night, then I just didn't end up. I went to it's out of nowhere. You don't have to downtown, but it's a rooftop. They have like a emo music night.
I give it back in English. Okay?
Dude, the East.
All right, we got
Oh yeah, yeah.
new dealer coming on in, so that means it's time for yellow bomb top. So Ryan going to be pitching the cards here out of the box.
I wanted to check out.
Time being. So let's take a look, get all these cards pitched out, and we'll see what's up with the estimate. And so, oops, bring them on back. So we're going to start that one over.
One card.
Oops, I'm going to go let the Steam Dola back in. He locked himself out.
Yeah. Well, dude, I really like Lazarus too.
All right, he is coming on back in.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Dude, that place is cool.
Now we got ourselves a yellow bomb pot coming on out here.
Lazarus?
Well, yeah. Okay,
And,
so I want one
there-
place.
yeah, there's a fun game that I've been playing. It's a little bit tricky to get people to go along with it because it's new and different, but I really enjoy it. Where you play Hold'em, but you get 2 cards down and 1 face up, and you can play all 3 if you want. But just like Hold'em, with 2 boards, and it's really fun.
So
Like
you can play any 1 card, no cards, or 3 cards, like any
yeah,
combination.
0, 1, 2, or 3. So you can have quads without a paired board, right? You could have a flush with just 2 of a suit out there, etc. And it's really fun. I actually really like it. Like when it comes to the Hold'em games, I think it's the best variant because like the Pineapple games just ends up becoming Hold'em after the flop, anyways. Right.
Yeah,
But
there's
this
not much
one is
merit
just
to the pineapple.
yeah, but this one's got a little bit of a different flavor, and you've got that little bit of information, so you can always tell like
And you get some card removal, which is nice. Like seeing all the up cards. So.
exactly.
Coming from a stud background, though, I like that.
Yeah. Right. All right, Sammy here betting 100 with top 2 pair. Nobody has anything to go with. That is a fairly disconnected board, so everybody will just run for the hills. Sammy is just going to pick up the 90 bucks of profit that's out there. Let's take a look at the cumulative winnings. Johnny here sitting atop the top, sitting atop the top, atop the top.
On top of the top.
2.6K up in the black. Alex down the same amount.
Well, you can go to math. You should go to math.
Players sitting on the edges of the spectrum.
Where's that?
Right.
After staying for
So-
20 years in Austin, I came to know last year Metal Rancho is like the 5th, the revenue-wise, the 5th in the country.
Let's see here.
Well, yeah, that's why it's always a 2-hour wait to get in.
What's your favorite place to go to that has
Yeah, it's
beaches?
like in the back patio.
Like to go to the beach?
Yes.
Well, I did grow up in an area with beaches, or at least some of my life in New Jersey. So I went to them a lot.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah, on
Okay.
Jersey Shore.
Okay.
We went to the beach frequently.
I never get fajitas. Who gets fajitas?
So I know them well, and there's some good ones over there. It's underrated, the beaches in New Jersey.
I've been to the beach, Wildwood.
Yes, Wildwood's very nice.
Yeah, that was all right. I know that seems like a really random question out of the blue.
It
Super
is.
producer Carol got a chuckle out of like, what the hell
It is
kind of
random.
question is that? Because my sister wants to go somewhere with a beach and like get away, just like.
In Florida, like Clearwater is nice.
Okay, all right.
Destin,
Yep.
Destin is nice.
Okay, all right. Couple of options.
Yeah.
We used to go to the Keys when we were kids. So we had family that lived in Atlanta, and then we would just kind of hop in the car and go down to the Keys. We went to San Bernardino Key one time. That was nice. Anyways, I'll come back to that because we got a bet of 200 and
Greece.
a raise. Greece?
Yeah, the beaches in Greece.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Although my niece is now just about 1 year old, so something a little bit more domestic is probably in
Dude,
order.
I have a busy weekend.
Raj is going to find the fold button, and Sammy going to take that one down.
The East 6, like, I know, you just walk.
But yeah, I think, I don't know. I mean, it would be cool to go somewhere like a little bit exotic, like Bahamas or like Costa Rica or something like that. But I just feel like with the 1 year old, it's going to be a little bit tough. So something a little bit shorter distance, like maybe just, I don't know, Cancun or maybe Florida or something, right? Kind of easy.
Yeah. Well, I think Florida. But, like I said, I think Clearwater and Destin Beach, like that area is really nice. Florida. And not a lot of times, people go to like South Beach or the East Coast side.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot more often. But I don't think you're taking a trip up to Jersey for the beach.
Nah, probably not. I will say that New Jersey was my least favorite state that I've been to.
That's good. We have that effect on people.
Yeah. No, I mean, I may have told this story before and probably while you were in the booth with me, but just had an absolutely atrocious, abysmal trip there to Wildwood and just had every possible person just like treat me as though I was the most like vile human being that they'd ever seen. And I was just like trying to like plug my laptop into an outlet right in the hotel lobby and stuff. Like, I mean, it was out of control.
Yeah, that's just the normal, like, how you doing,
How you doing? Hey, fuck yourself, go die in a fire. All right, we got a raise to 60, a call. We're getting this all piped in to the action tracker. As if this is true and Dante has just called the 60 with queens, I'm going to be, I mean, that's what we have in here, so I'm going to go ahead and guess that this is correct. JL goes for the 3-bet, and Dante just smooth calls. Ace, king of hearts against 2 queens on 6 deuce deuce. Don't get a much better flop than that with 2 queens. Check from Dante. Bet a 350 and a
big.
check jam from Dante for 1.1K. This is an over bet jam to the pot. I mean, it's check jam, so I mean, who really cares about the size of the pot? I suppose. JL here, 7-13 to call. Actually. Now that I see it, yeah, this is actually just a pretty reasonable check raise all in.
Yeah. Once he put that, JL put a bigger size bet than he really needed to there, and kind of forced himself to call it off.
Queens full.
That's
for
pretty good.
Dante. That is pretty good. That's, I think this hand should have played out a little bit differently. All of the chips did still go in the middle. Dante still did find the double up, but I find that very interesting that Dante went for the smooth call and then the smooth call again with queens.
5 of the
Playing a little tricky trappy.
That was very trappy. Tricky sometimes will work. Then on the flop, I don't think it really was going to get in on the flop unless JL bet a little bit too large of a size on that board.
Yeah.
Like it would be a weird spot if he bet like 150 or 175. And then
on,
Dante
25.
can't just really rip over that, or really raise over that, because then it's really awkward.
Yeah.
So you might have to just call.
I was just
You can get away from it.
warm
Yeah.
and fuzzy.
Yeah, an interesting spot. And because of the fact that it was just a flat call of the initial open, it was just a 3-bet pot, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of bizarre. But that is the way it goes. And no matter how you would have slung that one, besides running it more than once, Dante was going to come out on top as the river.
On the river.
Load it up on the river.
All right.
Top boat's a good hand.
It's a pretty good hand. Yeah. just the tip here with Steam Dole says top boat is a pretty good hand.
Yeah, mark that down.
Yeah, that goes into the notes for sure.
Session notes. Steam Dole says top boat good.
Make top boat.
Make
Win
more of them.
chippies. Made a straight flush today.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And PLO bomb pot. That was nice.
Did you?
It counted
still count?
because I won half the
Did
pot.
you get half?
Okay,
Was
Carolyn.
it half of something reasonable, or like did you just like chop to somebody?
I had flopped top set on the other board as well, but it ran out to make a flush out there. So I lost to the flush. But
Was it multi-way, or you just?
yeah, 3 ways.
That's good. That's
three
good.
ways.
So you
Yeah.
got a little something.
And one opponent had the nut flush, ace high flush,
Oh, that's
and
fun.
just called, didn't raise. Yeah, so I missed a lot of value, but she saw the possibility for the straight flush. She said, you know what, I'm just gonna call, and good for her because I just got half. her
People
rank.
have a lot of. They see darkness in the bomb pots. They've seen all of the
boogeymen in
bad
the closet.
all the boogeymen, all the whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. I get the ace high
Oh,
flush,
yeah.
and there's one combo to make the straight flush. Like, yeah, I'm
Check call.
Yeah. I'm probably piling it in and then getting chopped up, but you know, that's the way it goes.
It's pretty big, but I mean, we're not even at power hour yet. The no match
40
tax.
Got some people talking about bad beats and such. We do have a bad beat jackpot here at TCH, shared between all of the TCH locations.
Oh wow!
And the bad beat jackpot is up over 10K once again. Did have it hit the other day up in Dallas for 50-some thousand. But the secondary backup bad beat jackpot is in effect and growing once again up in the 5-figure mark.
Unfortunate, but also for so right there was the 5, 10, 20, 40 was on, and JL woke up the queens under the gun, but opened and didn't get any resistance.
There you go.
But it's nice to get queens with the 40s on.
That's for sure. Yeah, $77 a profit.
Yeah.
Just, it doesn't matter
Just
what your
take it.
hand was. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, give me the money. I'll take it. I didn't have to actually play against anyone. And I got $77.
Well, that's why.
Joseph Staten here says, who grew up in AC? That would be Steam Dola here.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Joseph, we were down in the Borgata for many years back in the day.
So I haven't been to the Wildwood area. That was a long time ago. That was back in, when did I go?
That's much south of where I
2009.
lived, where like I was going to be. That would be like a trip for me. That was down by Atlantic City, which is like that was like an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, I went to Atlantic City while I was there. I was there for a conference and like did a little bit of an extended stay so that I could go to Atlantic City afterwards. And the insides of those casinos are just like any other, beautiful, lots of chandeliers and all the fancy stuff. But the outsides, man, geez, it looks like a old warehouse district. You know,
some
you're
of
like,
them,
what happened
Yeah,
here?
like the only one that was really the only nice one was the Borgata, and that's not on the beach. That is like in the harbor area.
Okay.
So like you might not the marina. I mean, you might not have even gone to that.
I don't remember which ones I went to.
But
I went and played some.
Yeah, like
$30
on the
tournament or
beach
something.
there was like Taj Mahal,
We did that for what,
Showboat, another like 5 Trump ones at the time. I think they were all like closed. But
Okay, yeah.
it was like Trump Plaza, Trump Taj Mahal, Showboat.
Wow, we have an all-in and a call here as we've got top pair and a gutter against ace king with the ace of clubs. JL is going to scoop this 5.5K pot. This suddenly
My
just like out of the
goodness.
blue while we were jammering away. All the chips went in the middle. JL calls off with just top pair queen kicker and a gutter and is good. He holds. They
Wow.
rip it
So
one time.
Johnny, who had was the big winner on the day, just forked it right all over to JL.
Yeah, that was a ramplunt perhaps. And yeah. Look at that. So JL happy to receive that one, return it for the TD. And he's going to stack up to 5.5K. That was a massive pot
Massive
with
pot,
one
yeah,
pair
yeah.
and nut flush draw.
Yeah, it's just sometimes the hands don't need to happen that way, and sometimes they just happen. I'm not sure what we were completely not paying attention, of course, for the biggest pot of the night. Sorry about that, guys. We're talking about the Showboat in Atlantic City that is now bankrupt, as well as every other casino in Atlantic City.
Yeah, they struggling.
Yeah, most of them closed. They had a big downturn, like, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. Most of them just shuttered.
Wow.
But the Hard Rock bought Trump Taj Mahal, and I think it opened. Like a bunch of the other ones closed. They were in the middle of opening this $1 billion one called Rebel that only lasted 6 months.
Jeez.
And now I think someone had bought it and turned it into just a resort, not casino.
Okay.
But yeah, this beautiful, gorgeous resort, like Las Vegas style resort, lasted 6 months because they built it at the wrong time. It's just a nightmare.
Gnarly. All right, we got a couple of real hands here crashed into each other. As Alex is now facing this 3-bet to 215, he is making the call, and Jay Wynn, the man in the middle, with ace-7 of clubs, facing prospect of putting in 170 into a pot that's going to go up to 570. He'll play this one man in the middle style with nut clubs, and that is pretty much it. If he knew that he had the only ace, he would be calling all the time, and he is going to call. So pretty speculative here, facing this action, honestly, with the ace-7 of clubs, but he's going to come along, and he will flop an up and down straight draw with backdoor nut clubs. Anderson and Alex both with overpairs and both controlling a spade. Checky to Anderson. This is not the best board in the world, but honestly, shouldn't connect with your opponent's range too frequently. Yes, they can have some sets sometimes, but definitely going to be a spot where you're going to want to go for a c-bet. He is going to do so, a little under half pot. And Alex, we did see him a couple of streams ago, or maybe just last week, whenever it was, he woke up with pocket 9s and pocket 10s and played them differently every time. He's going to go for a check jam. This is, once again, a different way to play it. So Alex is going to go ahead and pile in the chips. And Jay Wynn is like, wait, but I had a hand that wanted to see a turn. Junior producer Seth popping on in. What's going on, buddy? Just in time to...
he's not called. He does not want to fold here. I think he's... 1.7.
So Jay Wynn can be thinking through the possibilities that his opponent may be on some sort of combo draw, and ace high is actually going to be good. While it may not have a ton of equity, it will actually be the best hand at the moment. If that's the case, with the additional equity that he has from the straight draw, like maybe he could contemplate trying to play this. The problem is that he's got Anderson behind.
Yo, that's the thing. It's like they're deep behind, right? Anderson has 3.1K, so he's got him covered here. So we'd have to almost move in here. Because if he calls and gets any action from Anderson, what do you do?
Yeah, he would have to move in. And like, while we can see that he has 42% equity and moving in and getting Anderson to somehow just like throw up and fold would be fantastic, it's, yeah, not going to work out that way. He is going to fold, which I think is the correct move. Anderson is going to make the call, and it's kings against 10s. There was a club and just a meaningless 7 on the end. So kings up for Anderson, and Alex will get felted.
Yeah. Anderson, it didn't start as a great session, is now looking very promising.
Yeah, up 2.2K on that hand alone moves him up to the top of the leaderboard, 5.8 thousand in front of that man. Nice little hand there for him. And yeah, Alex is done. And 2 hands back to back that were just like out of the blue, all the money went in, and like, wait, these players have
That
one
did not
pair.
need to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Vittorio was next on the list if he's still in the house.
Vittorio?
Vittorio, yeah.
Vittorio may be stepping on it. All right. Take a look at that here.
You have 10, you should.
Stephen McIntyre here. He says the Rebel became Ocean, which had a small poker room, and then they closed the poker room because they put it in the middle of the casinos.
Oh, the Ocean Resort actually had gambling. I thought it was just a resort, didn't have actual gambling. But I may be wrong. I never went there. I did go there when it was a Rebel for a little while. It was beautiful, but didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like the way they designed it wasn't. It would take you like 40 minutes to go from casino to your room.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's like, why would they do that?
You may as well just sleep in front of the slot machine. I think that's what they were going for.
I guess so, yeah.
Right, we've got 3 players potentially mixing it up here as we have Raj making another small 3-bet here. The ace-5 suited. Okay, the king-8 did get folded out, so Jay Wynn the only caller. And he's like, cool, cool, effective 4th pair. No real equity, love it. And Raj is like, I like this flop. I have top pair. I will bet 50. And you will call? Question mark?
I guess so.
Not right.
I guess he knows 3 of clubs is coming. Oh, well, another card here.
Yeah, just more equity for Raj. Wait, now
Jay Wynn's going to lead at it.
Huh. Jay Wynn really putting on a clinic of how to play in interesting ways that are unpredictable. And I mean, that is one thing to say for sure about Jay Wynn is that he will make moves that, like this one, it raises an eyebrow. You're like, what is this? What hand does this, right? And the fact that he's doing it with 3s, I think, is a little bit curious. Maybe if he had a hand like pocket 10s, you could get behind it because you're like, yeah, you're never going to win, and you block queen 10. So yeah, go for it, you know? Like he did with the 6 earlier. Let's rep something weird and see what you can get done. But with the 3s here, no equity.
Yeah, it's just these 0 equity line. Like, they make sense. Like, the line could be some hands, but it's like the hands he's choosing to do with are bizarre-ish. But
that's not the 3 of clubs on the end, or I think Jay Wynn would have fired away.
line of dime. Well, that would have been an interesting card to continue.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real. Yeah, Raj just gets to check behind. He'll be like, can I have some pair of aces? That may raise everybody's eyebrows there. Like, oh, 3s. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there you go. Raj just gets to take it down there on the end. Board pairs, diamond comes in, but Jay Wynn is done with it after he gets looked up on the turn. And there you go. We do have a new player sitting down in seat number 2. We'll get that player's information here plugged in and find out if it is indeed the Vittorio that we've heard about. I am Skippy. We got a $1.99 super chat here. He says, who wins, Poke or Dawn in the heads-up first round? Well,
It is Vittorio.
it is Vittorio.
Yes.
Welcome to the stream, Vittorio. And he's going to sit down with a reasonable hand, but he's just going to let it go. Let's see here. So the heads-up match is going to be very interesting because there's a lot of history between these 2 players in terms of, like, you know, the Twitter chat and the back and forth there. Mostly coming from Polk. Dwan didn't really engage with it.
Doug likes to get in the streets, the Twitter streets.
Yo, definitely does. As Johnny has, what is that? Is that number 7 or something?
We didn't even rank the non-8 of spades.
Okay.
No, but so 8 of hearts, 8 of diamonds is actually the nut low.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, there you have it.
Yeah.
And it whiffed.
Yeah, we don't want that combination.
That's pretty funny to hear you say that you don't want a combination of 8s. All right, I'll remember that. It's the 2 red ones. You don't want those. All right. But anyways, back to that question. I think Doug is definitely going to be favored in heads up
Against anyone.
against pretty much anyone. I don't know how much Dwan has been playing heads up, right? Like, who knows? I know he's been playing the nosebleeds over in Macau and such, but a lot of like short deck and just regular no limit hold'em, I think.
Yeah.
So probably not a lot of heads up experience here recently. Certainly nothing that I've heard of, although I don't follow like all of the ins and outs of the poker world to know for sure if he's been playing heads up. But I would give the edge to Polk. What do you think?
Thank you.
I would
Junior
just say,
producer Seth
mean,
over here,
the thing about
self-proclaimed heads-up poker
Doug
expert.
just did a lot of
Yeah,
work
you need to explain
against
yourself.
Daniel with the Daniel thing, and that's
Why
been
were you
studying.
mad?
So like the amount of studying that Doug just did with that match is going to be probably more than Juan has ever done his entire
Check him
life.
down on the river.
Yeah.
Like, and that's probably true. Not that Juan actually played heads up like back in the day,
Make that blocker miss.
but that was a whole
I
different
took offense to the men click.
game
I had to
at
see
that
it.
point.
Yeah.
And where it has been, and since Doug just put in all that work, I mean, obviously the edge is going to be for him. As much as I love Tom Dwan.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that all the way through that tournament, Doug Polk would be one
Yeah.
of the favorites for sure. But, I mean, it's also crazy, right? I mean, you sit down one-on-one, and, like, the variance creeps in, like, massively, right? Like, even if you play super strong heads-up poker, have a couple of coolers, and, like, you just
Exactly, and that's why those matches, when they want to do them online, are 25K hands or something like that, because the edge isn't so apparent in the there's 500 hands or so, or even less that you're going to be playing. So it's a couple cold decks and you're out of there.
Absolutely right. All right. 5 players to a flop, and Anderson has somehow flopped the best of it with bottom pair of 3s. Johnny here going to go ahead and take a stab, though, 75 with his gutter ball. Dante also has a gutter ball. And the better ace high, so he will put in the call. Off to a turn. It's a 5 of spades. Not going to change anything here. Dante's still with the best hand. Johnny now checking. And Dante's like, oh, if you're going to check, I guess I'll bet. And 225 is probably just going to get this through. It will. Dante will take it. But yeah, I mean, but heads up poker, that's the new rage, right? Like everybody's doing it. It's like it's the hot new thing to do is to challenge your, I don't know, Twitter rival or whatever to a heads up battle. And I like playing heads up poker, but the most that I've done has been at like final tables when it's gotten down to the final 2 players. And then it's like weird because you're usually short stacked. Right?
Yeah, and you guys are
Not a lot
you're
of blinds
playing
to
on
play.
like 20 bigs and or less, like at the most, like really, right? When you're down in those spots.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how many blinds, or how far it had sort of whittled down before like the last short stack went out or whatever, right? Like, I mean, I've seen
Sometimes
it
if
before.
it's quick final table, you actually have some blinds.
Yeah, like 100 in play
Right.
or something.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
nice.
oftentimes it is. You've got like 60 blinds in play between 2 players, and somebody's got like a 2-to-1 advantage, and so it's just
Yeah, you're playing effective. That's what I mean. Like you're playing effective. Like
Well, since you didn't
10
praise,
bigs,
I know what
15
you don't
bigs.
have.
It's like it's not so much nuance to that.
yeah.
Of course there is, but that's what these 100 big blind heads up formats are really cool. And I know Racer was talking about Dwan killing it in the heads up streets back in the day, and that is true. He did do well back in the day, but I think he got away from it so long ago that it has evolved. It's evolved much past the game that was crushing Pac-Man.
Yeah.
As Doug will tell you.
For sure. Yeah. Junior producer Seth here saying that Dwan is a very sharp guy and obviously fearless, right? So, I mean, yeah, you put him in there against anyone and he's gonna find ways to challenge you for sure. And as you noted, like Dwan is no stranger to the heads up
Yeah,
streets.
for
It's
sure.
just about whether or not he will be prepared to play at the level that he will need to defeat Doug Polk, I think. And I mean, I'm sure he'll be putting in some time on the solvers and whatever to try to get ready. Yes.
Junior producer can't find the name of the challenger for Doug Polk that he's thinking of. Whatever he says, I'm going to say Doug is the favorite.
Yeah, yeah. Phil.
Yeah,
Ivey.
and heads up, Doug is a favorite. I'm always going to say that.
Yeah, yeah.
And Phil doesn't really ever play heads up.
Yeah, way back in the day, but yeah, it's been a long time, I think. Kellen O'Donnell, is that Schulman on commentary? Yep, that's absolutely right. Aaron McAvoy, otherwise known as Nick Schulman, right here. Your boy Steam Dola.
Nick Schulman.
As, let's see, what do we got going on here? Another massively multi-way pot as Raj is going to flop top pair with a queen kicker. But JL here with top pair and an open ender does have the lion's share of the equity. Jay Wynn has second pair and backdoor diamond, so he may stick around depending on what kind of price he gets here. Sammy with bottom pair should be headed for the showers, but he is not done with this just yet. Okay, he is going to get out of the way, and now JL, of course, can't be folding that hand, so he will call. And Jay Wynn, let's see. He's made a couple of speculative plays, but he is going to be first to act for the remainder of this hand, playing out of the small blind. So, going to be tough to like get paid,
Yeah,
right?
like I would like, if I'm going to play it, I might even raise in that spot as in the first act if I want to play it. Or you could just turn a 9. I mean,
Yeah.
But still, you're not going to make much. It's going to be hard for you to get value in these spots. Like, if it gets checked through here.
Yeah, because it probably is going to check through. I don't think anyone is going to want to bet at this. Even JL, when it checks to him, is probably going to be like, do I bet? Do I just take a free card?
Or Raj is going to go after it.
Yeah, I guess he's going to keep going for value. This is a little bit tricky. So these spots pop up. Oh, wow, the 10-8 snap folds.
Whoa, okay, not expecting that.
Bet at 200, just under half pot, and top pair with an open ender goes right into the muck, and Jay Wynn now. I don't think a smooth call here is in order, but you have to have a real plan for what happens if you go for the small check raise and your opponent rips it, right? Like the effective stack here is 1.5K behind. If Raj, or if Jay Wynn sort of looks over, does the math, and sees what he's working with, he'll be like, I can't raise very large, or I'm going to commit myself to a call, or do I want to raise large so that I commit myself to a call, right? Like, that's where the awkward stack size sort of comes into play. But I definitely don't think Jay Wynn is going for a check call here. And as I said, of course, I'm wrong.
He's been pretty much trying to fade whatever you're into. Like,
yeah.
Oh, is that what you want to do? Nah.
It's like, oh, you're zigging? No, I'm zagging. Fuck you.
And now, like, he's going to come out for a lead. Watch this. I was trying to see if he could do all the opposite things.
Snap,
Yeah, it goes
check,
check.
bang.
That's, yeah, interesting.
Yeah. There's lots of interesting
Yeah.
hands here tonight, but it's been very entertaining. And
Yeah,
I've been really enjoying seeing Jay Wynn mix it up, because he definitely takes some different approaches and keeps you on your toes.
Have we been doing it?
All right, TCH Live here in the chat saying like goal to end the stream 250. And if you're in the chat, help us out. Hit that like button if you haven't already. We would appreciate it oh so much. We're up to 147. That is a lofty goal, but I think you guys can help us out. Let's start by getting up to 175 if you would help
Now I
us.
have to do it.
Do that
Kings in this
would
spot.
be
Actually, I
fantastic.
can't.
I'm the only one that gets paid.
Sammy, he never straddles.
All right.
I can't.
Justin over here is like, he doesn't straddle. I can't make these pots any bigger.
Nice try, though.
Raj, the one guy we gave 2K to on the second hand doesn't straddle on it.
They're
Gotta get
needling.
back to the game a little.
Who said that?
Straddles in. I don't remember who it was that said that, but I think they're talking about
That was
the gentleman over there in the 7th seat.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a pink.
Vittorio here
Sorry,
raising it up to 7s, and Jason has a mystery hand.
What is it, 80 total?
In the $20 straddle here. Just have a couple of rags, but he's going to call nonetheless. Let's see if we can get those cards scanned in, or if we're going to go the old unknown cards.
And Vittorio is known to be pretty aggressive.
Every time.
Every time.
Call it every time.
Jason checks. Victoria has a hand that he can definitely go for value. Doesn't mind just picking up the pot right now as any 2 overcards for your opponent, which Jason does not have, but frequently will have. Just going ahead to deny their equity is just fine. So
On my honor.
Jason has 4 high and is happy
He
to
played
fold.
it every time in Vegas.
And you can always get away with a nice half pot or even less than that.
The
on
problem
that
is you
kind
make
of
money once.
flop. And fold out all that garbage.
E. McKenzie in the chat.
What's
going
up,
on, dude?
E?
Welcome, good sir. And I am Skippy here saying, do they do bomb pots here with a bunch of question marks? That's probably a troll, but yes, we absolutely do. We do it on the dealer
All
changes.
of the bomb pots, Mr. Skippy.
Yeah.
All of the bomb pots.
On the stream, we do 1 per dealer change. So when a new dealer sits down in the box, we do a Pilo bomb pot single board. But yeah, in the regular games here at TCH Austin, we have bomb pots running all the time. So come on down, hang out with us, get yourself in on the action, and pick up on some of the sweet deals that we got here at TCH Austin. We've got the Grinder Special going on all through the month of June. That means if you come on in, you play 5 hours or more, you're going to get at least 20% off your hourly. If you play for 7 hours straight or more, you can get 30% off. And for the true grinders of the world, play for 10 hours straight or more, you get 40% off your hourly rate here at TCH Austin. So come on down, play some of the cash games with us, and get yourself some of the sweet, sweet deals. As Jaywin has sweet Cowboys.
Small raise.
Yeah, I called.
It is a small raise. And given the way the action has gone, this may just be a cascade of calls.
Yeah.
As Raj is certainly going to begin that cascade with a call. Dante's like, can't fold. Sammy's like, I can't fold.
He's got a suit in hand. It's never going anywhere. I wonder if that's something that Jaywin wants, and he's maybe trying to get it. The loose calls.
Yeah, he does have the advantage of playing this in position. So while going multi-way like this isn't often great for winning the hand, with a hand like Pocket Kings, it's not terrible, right? I mean, this flop is a little bit scary.
Yeah.
Thankfully for him, he has the King of Spades, so that's going to make him feel pretty safe on a lot of turns that otherwise might be a little bit more scary. But he is going to bet 200 after check 2. And Raj was the one with the
Dante's
2
got
overs and a gutter. But yeah,
top,
Dante,
top here.
you're right, top. The gutter and backdoor diamonds goes by the wayside. And there's one of those spades on the turn.
Yeah, just like you were saying, if he has, say he has 2 red kings here and that 4 spade peels off, and he'd be in a much more precarious situation.
Dante chooses this card to donk lead for 300. So 1/3 pot on the front door spade, completing 4 of spades. Jaywin going to go for the smooth call. And while it sort of did allow Dante to set his price and get to a showdown cheaply like this, a little bit of an interesting move, but it certainly worked there in terms of like, I'm going to put in 300 and no minute, and got the job done. Jaywin will take it down, however.
We've seen that a few times today. Not necessarily just from Dante, but many players choosing that line. It's not something that I don't think I do very often, but maybe it's a nice wrinkle to have in there once in a while. I think maybe like if I had one, like if I had the ace of spades offsuit hand there, I would do that maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, the donking, I mean, I've looked at some of this with a solver, and there's a couple of spots, like one in particular that really stands out. And, I mean, it sort of makes intuitive sense for the most part, but the big thing is, like, when a texture-changing card that dramatically favors the out-of-position player comes off on the turn, to avoid the possibility of it going check-check, which is going to happen a lot when that card is super favorable to the out-of-position player, then you can go for the small donk of like 1/3 pot or something and set up a river play where it's like, I have the betting lead now, right? Like, and whatever that river card comes, whether it improves my hand or not, I get to decide the dynamics of that river play. So that can definitely factor in.
Absolutely. The jail open limp here with the ace king.
Oh, yeah, indeed. Anderson stepping in it a little bit here. These are the two deepest players at the table. JL did this earlier, though, where he limped
Didn't
and
back
then
raise.
called. Yeah. But let's see if he goes for it this time. No,
No, he
calls.
Yeah.
And he flops.
Not flush draw.
Yeah. And Anderson is just going to go ahead and bet 25 here. Like, I'm going to be good a lot of the time. Let's see if I can deny some equity and just find out where I am, right? Oh, well, JL found his way into the nuts. Not really, especially with that card,
yeah.
but could.
Might get a hero from Ace High here, yeah.
Yeah, snap hero.
Yeah. Snap hero. Snap hero.
And
Anderson,
like,
you were always in bad shape there, but good call.
Yeah, but I mean, considering how things
How the
could
action
have
went,
gone,
I would have probably snapped it off as well. Yeah, for sure.
and to only lose like 150 bucks
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever it
fine.
was on that hand, ace queen versus ace king, not too bad. Racer Nerd here in the chat saying a small donk is a hee-haw.
Well, I'm just going to hee-haw into this turn here.
Yeah, but I think you have to do it with your best, like,
Hee-haw!
yeah.
I'm going to do it night when I play later. Find that position. Like, hee-haw! What was that? Oh, that's a small donk.
Wait till you see the big donk. Vittorio here, he's going to drop in not 3-bet, just a raise after we had a limp. 6-5 with diamonds. 7 deuce game, not
JL
on.
is definitely uncapped in his limp.
Absolutely right.
So he could have any hands here.
Does go for the limp call once again. It's ace high, all hearts. Vittorio here is like, is there a chance that you fold to 50?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
Hey, sixes with a 6 of hearts.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a tough spot to
yeah.
buckle in, so I don't fault it. And your opponent's range is going to be much stronger than your 6 high heart draw and under pair to the board. So yeah, let's let it go. All right, let's see how we're doing on the likes. We're up to 155, so we're up over the 150 mark. We appreciate that very much. Thank you,
One
guys.
boundary has been hurdled.
One.
Could we sneak into 200 before 10 o'clock?
Can we do it? If you haven't had an opportunity, please help us out, hit that like button, and do make sure that you are subscribed for all of our future content, which will be coming at you 6 days a week here on TCH Live. So come on in, hang out with us 6 days a week for all of the finest poker content in the lands. All right, we got some more limping. Limping is the name of the game. And Jason is like, well, if you guys are going to limp, then I'm going to raise 4-3 offsuit in the cutoff.
And Sammy's like, I'm going to snap off 9-7 offsuit in the big blind.
Yeah, we're going to go 4 ways to a flop here. No, Raj! Raj, what are you doing, man? You had the best. Oh, no, he's
That's
10 high.
sixes,
There
Vittorio
we go.
with the pair here.
Nines, pair of nines for Sammy. Look at that. 4-3. For some reason, didn't connect well with this board.
Who would have thought?
Check, though, and Jason could just win this one.
I've been paused a lot.
Every time on his
Jason going to barrel his backdoor wheel draw.
Backdoor 4 high club draw as well. Plenty of equity to be had there. But honestly, unless Sammy... No, Sammy does. Sammy looks him up.
Yeah, of course he does. Oh, the best card in the deck rips off.
Let's go. Jason is like, all right, I'm totally...
Told you
Wait,
backdoor
he
wheel.
picks up equity and he doesn't continue? Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Well, that's good. You can probably rep a queen with the check bet check line. But no, Sammy just snaps it. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, the problem is it was the bet check bet. If it
Yeah.
was the check bet check, it
Yeah,
would
would've
make
been
sense.
better, yeah.
But then it would be check bet bet, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, that worked that way.
Words and actions and everything's are
Everything
hard.
is hard.
Stephen
Yeah, I mean,
Mack.
that was the turn to barrel big there.
Seriously?
Bet pot on that turn.
Yeah, the
It's
9
like
was going to shrivel up
Yeah.
and look like a raisin after that. But,
Raisin.
yeah.
He wasn't raising that.
Oh, man, it's been too long since you joined me here in the
I
booth,
know.
buddy.
Yeah, he's been a while.
It's been a fortnight.
At least, if not a. Oh, there was something good
I
there.
don't
Damn
know,
it.
fifth night. You could have said something stupid like that.
Yeah, I asked for something a while ago.
Sorry, I'll set your jokes up and I'll close them. As well.
Yeah, you got to finish it for me, man. I don't know where jokes are hard, okay? Oh my goodness. Right after Mike says 4 dislikers waiting for a joke of the evening, and then you set it up, and I
just failed.
I knocked it off the tee by hitting like the
Yeah,
tee out from under the
topped
ball.
it. Yeah, you topped it.
All
Yeah,
right.
you hit the tee under the ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you pull that one off too? You good at that one?
That one, I do. Well, I did it a few times back in t-ball, but most of the time, I didn't have to get the tee out, right? Like I would be able to hit it. But when I did get it set up on the tee, then it was home run time. That was pretty much how I finished things off. Had to sort of swallow my pride of, oh God, I'm hitting off the tee, but at least I'll hit it into the bleachers.
There you go.
The good old days of t-ball, man. Back when I was a real thug athlete.
Oh yeah, just ripping homers.
That's right.
Yeah. And I like
Raj here and Dante clashing as we have top pair versus second pair, both players with a gutter. 7 of hearts here on the turn. No good for either player to improve. Dante's still best.
Yeah. That's why I ended up,
Raj
like I used to, when I first would get into this.
apparently has checked, and Dante now going to continue going for value. As Dante now getting himself a tune-up here from licensed massage therapist from Texas Royal Touch. Bet a 125. Raj is going to go for another check call.
Is that a call? He put a pink check in.
He keeps doing that. This is the second time or so that he's been like, call, put the pink out, and Ryan is like, bro, the pot ain't that big. I can't make you change. Ace of clubs on the end, and Dante will finish with best hand if we make it to showdown. But Raj,
Pokemon store.
is he gonna hee-haw this? Or maybe like, I don't know, what's the big dong?
Got a dong.
I literally walked straight
No, he
in.
checks. Check.
Yeah, that's a quick check. Pair of queens no good. Dante shows down the pair of kings and the winner for this $500 pot.
He won from me like a month
Throw a
or two
couple of
ago.
singles the way of the dealer. The tips are always appreciated by the dealers and staff here at TCH Austin. So if you come on in, hang out with us, play some of the cash games, do always remember to tip your dealers. They are here for you. Right. Mike Youngblood here. When is TCH Live Dallas streaming? Yeah, that's anytime now.
I don't believe him. He doesn't believe me.
Nick Canfield here. Why is it important for people to hit the like button? The main thing, I think, is, if I understand the YouTube algorithm well enough, is that the more likes that your broadcast gets, plus the number of people watching, like, raises its visibility to other people in terms of, like, here's something that you might be interested in. Here's a video that's going to pop up. And so we love getting this content out to you. This is free content. And so the more people that we can reach, the more people that we can bring the fine word of TCH Live to, and the great words of Mike Youngblood and the Church of the Immaculate River. You know, that's what we're here to do. So we hope that you guys will help us spread the word and get this content out to more people so that everybody can enjoy TCH Live along
I
with
sold mine.
Sold it.
You were there.
Yeah, for like $100.
Sold it for $100.
That's a good
Right,
deal.
so we've got
Well, he
a whole bunch of hands that have missed here. JL has the best of it with just a pair of
I just
fives,
bought
but
the
yeah,
same
he
one
can't
at
really
that same
call
store
his
for
bet.
$10.
As Sammy, with the nut low, has put
Yeah, he was sitting
140
in
out
the- yeah, he was
there.
sitting in the-
Sammy's going to take it down.
Rip it.
Yeah.
He was having a good
Power poker there from Sammy with little
one
slip.
of JC's friends. Yeah.
Power poker
in from
coming
Florida,
back
like, on
into
business.
popularity.
Yeah, I had no emotional attachment.
I would totally sell it for $100.
Doyle was right.
Give it $10. I won it off of Sam, so I don't.
What did Doyle say?
Power poker.
Power poker.
I know, but still.
He was right.
Bet
saying
everything.
it.
Profit.
Bet it all.
But
Put
that,
them all
you
in.
know.
Oh yeah, put him to the test.
Put 'em to the
Something
test.
like it's not limit
Yeah,
pokers.
we all are.
Yeah.
Mumble, mumble, put them all in.
Throw a hammer, throw them all in.
That's right. Man, could you imagine just traveling back in time to like the 1970s and sitting down at a poker table? Like us, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we're not like at the top of the game, but like we could go back to the 1970s and sit in those games and be like,
Doesn't
you know what? I think I can play this game
Doesn't
with
it
these
need to be
guys.
the 1970s? It literally could be 2005.
Well, sure. Sure.
Yeah, I think it was like worse then.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. Like the games were bigger, there was more money,
Yeah,
but
there
the
was more
players.
people donking money into the game than
No,
you could
I
exploit.
so much.
Yeah.
Back then, it was just it wasn't. You know, you couldn't go to a casino and have all these big games playing all the time.
Truth. Sammy here is representing J-Stack with the 6-tray offsuit, and J-Win has top air. Let's see what we get on this flop. Not top air anymore, it's top pair with the toppest of kickers, and Sammy has some backdoor funky gut shot straights. So he's gonna flick in 100, and J-Win's like, yes please. I can has more money. Oh, gives him the old, not too sure, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for the check call. This is about the driest board that you
Yeah.
could possibly imagine. That is not going to give Sammy any additional equity, so he will be drawing dead. But that will not stop Sammy from trying to win this pot still. He's like, nah, bro. When you check, you can't have a good ace. And I will push you off of your pocket kings, your pocket queens, or whatever you might have. Bet of 245. And if J-Win sort of plays possum a little bit here and like thinks this through and like, I don't know, I guess I call one more time, Sammy may feel emboldened to go for it on the end.
3 streets with no equity. Those are my favorite.
245 coming in from J-Win. He does make the call. Maybe Sammy will also find the give up button. That's also a possibility as we make it off to a river, queen of clubs. One of those underpairs that Sammy was targeting just made trips and is, of course, never folding. But Sammy says, I'm going for it anyways. And J-Win doesn't even have to see the 6 high.
How much did he bet?
I think it was
525,
525. Yeah.
He got it. That call game, it got in faster than the bet.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. It definitely did. Oh, my God. Okay. Taking a look back at the chat here.
Raj, you have to straddle one time, please, and don't straddle.
Okay.
All right.
All you had to do was ask.
Funny stuff. All right, taking a look at the light counter. We're up to 174. Had a chance. Please do help us out. Hit that button. As the players at the table are having a jolly good time.
They were enthusiastic about the straddle that we just got from Raj, so Justin was able to get the 20 in.
Nice. And then Jason is like, nah, not you.
Yeah, he said, nah, no 40 for me. But I do have 7-4 suited.
Nobody said hold.
He's gonna open it.
I'm just so used to it at this point. Gotta wait.
Man, I love this game, especially towards the end of the night. I mean, we are moving into the final half an hour of the
Sam
program.
just after tripling off with air, just does wake up with ace king here in a big straddle pot.
Yeah.
Nope.
Could look like he's steaming a little bit.
But this is a small 3-bet.
It was a small open as well. It was a 3. I guess that's
No, it's
pretty
just a
standard.
20.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
it
a
was
20, so
yeah.
75 is actually even
Yeah,
maybe
pretty
a little on
standard.
the larger side.
This game is pretty standard.
For the dollar for the red.
Ooh, Justin suited wheel ace here.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, I'll bring it back.
He is facing an under the gun raise and then a re-raise though, so
Yeah,
yeah, I
stay
think
out
it's
there.
time to just punch out. But for $100, like, I mean, Sammy may be doing this to keep Jason's range wide, which is fine, playing in position. But that was a very small 3-bet. As it stands, Jason going to peel off a flop, and heads up we go to 6-4-3 monotone. Sammy
Yikes.
controls no spade, and Jason has a pair. So Jason is ahead.
And Sammy just ships it in. There's only 700? This might have to be a think about call here.
Yeah, your opponent never does this with a flush. And to do this with an overpair with a spade is sort of unlikely as well because they'd have a ton of equity. So you sort of narrow it down to like some ace-king type holdings with or without a spade. Usually with a spade, I would generally tend to think. And then maybe some overpairs like 9s or 10s.
Something that's vulnerable to appeal, 7s, 8s, 9s.
Yeah, that's just like, F you, get out of my pot. Credit to Jason for thinking this through and not just being like, yeah, this board isn't great for me. And while I have a pair, I'm not beating your range like super hard. So he is going to cut out the chips, though. I think he's going to find the call.
I'm going to gamble here, I think.
Oh, yeah. He announces, I'm going to gamble here, I think. And there it is.
It's a good gamble. He's a 4-to-1 favorite.
Rip it, off to a turn. 8 of clubs, no help for the ace-king.
Oh!
But there's a king on the end, so a pair of kings. And Sammy will get bailed out.
I thought there was a
And Jason is like, oh, bro,
So, sorry.
I lose.
I had you before the
I
game.
didn't have spade, so I was like, fuck, 4 spade.
I love Sammy. Sammy's such a character at the table. And
he's
he's
a freaking legend.
a lot of fun to play with.
So after a little bit of a punt, he doubles up.
Taking a look there at the chip counts. JL Anderson up at 5.4K apiece. Top of the leaderboard.
I assume they would share
Right.
my percentage of
Nice play,
winnings.
Sam.
You ask how many hands are left, or you give us a heads up to play 2 or 3 hands left? I think every week can play the bottom line. Yeah, I know.
JS here correcting us that suited board is monochrome, not monotone.
I think I won with an ace, a king,
I
or
like that. Monochrome.
Yeah, we can start bringing that in.
The old
Monochrome
monochrome,
board, yeah.
monochrome flop. Yep. We do have the $20 straddle once again. Folds over around to Vittorio. As we got the scratcher ticket back out, JL here is going to try to make some words. Careful, words are hards. Vittorio does make the raise to 80. Anderson going to go set mining with 2 red 5s out of the small blind. Justin, 2 red 6s.
Sometimes you get pipped by 1.
And Jason here going to have the best chance of winning this one with
5,
2
6, 7
overcards.
flop.
Dude. Nope.
Not quite.
Just a pair of 8s for Vittorio, a pair of kings for Jason, an effective 3rd pair for both Justin and Anderson. Check, check. Vittorio is the pre-flop aggressor, so oh, this was checked all the way through to Vittorio, and he's c-bet for 90. Then we have 2 folds from the under pairs. Jason, of course, will not be folding. Of course, not a hand that you're going to go for a raise with. Keep all of your opponent's bluffs in, and just go for the check call. Ace of clubs, not a great card for Jason. Very good card for Vittorio's range, but does he continue? It looks like he will. 5, 5, 5 in the middle, 9, 5, 5 in his stack. He's going to fire out a bet of maybe 175 here. This is a great size.
Yeah, he needed to make sure he set up enough for a nice size on the river if he's going to go for it.
Yeah, Jason definitely not going anywhere yet. He's like, oh, that's a reasonable size, and you could definitely continue betting that way with an inferior hand that I am ahead of, something like a king 10. Oh, Vittorio just gives up on it, and
yeah, it's probably not a great card to continue that bluff with.
the deuce of diamonds.
Yeah, pairing the board.
Because you
in.
chop with all the other kings.
Yeah. It's hard to get him to fold there when that board
Wasn't
pairs.
smooth to fold on the river either, so that definitely wasn't folding.
Yeah, that would almost be the spot to go for the like call me bet, you know, just
Yeah,
like bet
yeah.
200, and then
Yeah.
he's like, oh my god, this is always an ace just for super value
Yeah.
trying to get called by a king, and they like level themselves into a fold. But like, it's really hard to find those spots and go for them.
Yeah.
Because it's also like, why the hell am I going to bet 200? Like,
Right.
I'm
I was
just
like,
giving
how
away
is he
200.
folding? Right. Lighting 200 on fire until he goes, him ha, him ha.
Yeah.
I know you have it full.
Yeah, no, and I love those spots so much. We saw it on Monday. Did you watch the Monday stream this week?
I was in and out of watching it 'cause I was working.
There was one spot that was fantastic. It was 3 ways to a river. Nobody had anything. Check, check. The player last to act was like, all right, I'll try to steal this or whatever. Actually had, I think, the best hand or something. Bet small, gets called like pretty light, or maybe it was like bet as a bluff, called by a pretty weak hand, but was like, yeah, I might be able to win this. And then the dude that had checked in between was like, oh, I guess this is the time to rip it in for my last like less than 2K, and ships like a 9K pot for like crumbs because it was like he's never not doing this with value, right? And they both folded, and he had like the worst hand. It was amazing.
God.
That was my favorite. All right, 2 players with king queen here. Dante with a couple of 6s, and Sammy suited 7 deuce. We got a 3 bet here. Sorry, 4 bet. We got a 4 bet coming on in from Jason. Back over and around to Raj, and I wouldn't recommend playing this hand out of position with these stacked depths. You could go for the YOLO 5 bet all in and just be like, you know, maybe you're on some sort of shitty hand that I have some fold equity against. But
or you get it in versus 10s or jacks.
Yeah.
But calling is pretty abysmal.
Okay, I call.
He says, okay, I call. And he's using the pink chip, and he's actually going to get change for
That's
it.
his call button. He's like, anytime he calls, pink chip. Sign, $10 bet.
You gave him 300.
Right, well,
Yeah.
no diamonds out there,
75
but
that's right.
it doesn't favor Raj's hand either.
Not bad. I know, I saw
So a check, and with 600 in the middle,
Oh, shit.
I think Jason should go for like 150 here, 1/4 pot, and just be like, what do you got, right? With full intention of folding to a check jam.
Yeah, I guess
but like
that's what it would have to be.
with the gutter equity, like I think you just
Yeah, I
want to
think you
bet
should.
small and see if your opponent runs away. This is also fine.
Yeah, I think
1/3 to 1/4. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that's
that's about the top of the size he should be using. So it's fine.
yeah. The problem with the 200 is if he does go all in, then you kind of have to squint
Yeah,
at
you
it
don't want
and
to
be
give
like,
yourself the pot odds to have to call. It's like, yeah.
573. Raj?
Raj. Yowzers.
He goes for
He's
the
going to
check
find
call.
some crazy spot where he's going to jam this turn. He's going to lead jam this turn and steal the pot.
Do it, Raj. Rip it in. You will win if you do. Oh, he checked.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, there aren't a lot of hands that check call that flop. That
he's gonna show
can
him. He's
continue.
going to show him too. We were chopping. We were chopping.
The collective size
Yeah.
or whatever moans at the table of like, oh, king, queen, off the chop.
Yeah.
Eric Gissa here saying, are they playing the 7 deuce game? They are not. So I'm not sure if there was a discussion about it or whatever, but they're not playing the 7 deuce game.
Not today, boys.
All right, moving on into the last 17 minutes of the broadcast. We take a look over here. We're up to 179 likes. I know we can get up over 200, and that will get us on the way to 250. So if you guys have not already hit the like button, we would appreciate it oh so much if you would rear back with the fury of 1,000 suns and obliterate the like button. Vittorio here with a couple of sailboats. He's going to limp this.
I'd say a few times he's limped. Open limp the small pair on these $10 straddles.
Jason with 7s in the biggest of blinds. He will come in for the necessarily. I mean, this is a squeeze play, but it's. I mean, the sizing is just sort of like, yeah, probably going to get called and play this out of position, which he will.
Yeah, I think and that you're just trying to get rid of the straddle and play against the limper, which I think is more than fair.
Does go for the small continuation bet. Gets called. And yeah, this could work out for Vittorio to steal this on the end. This board looks horrible for Jason. He's got effective third pair, but Vittorio going for showdown, which is understandable. He had the 4 clubs, so no reason to like turn your hand into a bluff necessarily if you could just like win somehow by not putting any more chips in.
And he does call
Trying to roll him right to
the
your
50
set.
on the end there.
That was convenient. Thank you.
That's what I was going
Yeah.
for.
$50, thin value there for Jason. Gets it done. It's like, I don't know, you call me with a 3 or a 6, and sure enough, it's called by 4s. All right. Joseph Staten, I once tried to bluff my grandma, but then she took all my change. That's unfortunate. I am Skippy. Here's a good question. And speaking of questions, after we answer this one, anybody else has any good questions for myself or Steam Dola? Drop them here in the chat. We'll do our best to answer them. Have either of you finished in the money at the WSOP? I'll take that one first. I have definitely finished in the money in several tournaments at the World Series of Poker, but in terms of the main event, I played it one time and I busted out day one, so did not finish in the money in that one. But yeah, no, I've cashed many a WSOP event. My biggest run was in a $1,500 no limit hold'em event. There was something like 1,000 entries or something like that, and I did make it into the top 100 players. So we were down to I don't remember exactly what place I finished, but it was like between 60th and 80th or something like that. Only got like 3 buy-ins back, but pretty good run for a WSOP event. Make it into the top 100 players remaining. I felt pretty good about that.
It's a great run, Aaron.
Thanks, man.
Fantastic. Judy's.
Yeah. Judge Judy against King Judy.
Yeah, we had a $25 straddle on his hand, so Justin 4x to 100 and 3 bet. So King X suited is probably reasonable enough to see a flop in that configuration, and that's a pretty good flop.
Yeah, 1 heart with the up and down straight draw. So Justin, even if he is way behind a hand like aces, kings, even a set of queens, he has clean outs to a better hand and some backdoor opportunities as well. Especially facing this down bet on the flop, Justin ain't going nowhere.
Right, now is this a hand that you want to be raising against a small bet?
I do not think so. I think in position, you're going to want to play all of your hands as a call.
So do I, but I just had a feeling it was going to raise.
Yeah. So, I mean, because here's the thing. If your opponent has aces, kings, or queens, or something like that, like aces with a club, right? I mean, they're just going to pile it in your face, and then now you're going to throw up because you're like, I guess I have to put in the rest of my money, and I could have just seen that turn for 225, right? And reevaluated my life.
Yes.
Now all my money's in.
So I would say what I was like trying to bring out is like in this exact configuration, if I was out of position, I would maybe check raise this hand. But again, on the button, I'm going to control the pot and just make a call here.
Yeah, because now Jason has got to figure out, like, what are you doing this with? Like, if you have pocket tens, right? Like, are you really going to go for a check raise here? Or are you just going to play this in position, right? Like, stacked pot ratio is, like, if you just call, the stacked pot ratio is already around 1.
Yeah, it was going to get in.
Yeah. I mean, to avoid, like, a scare card coming off on the turn or something. Yeah, here we go. I love this. I love this from Jason. He recognizes that there aren't very many hands that are going to go for a raise, and that's why I don't advocate for it. Now Justin's going to have to call off his stack. I mean, look at what he's done. He's priced himself into this.
Yeah, it's only got to call 1.3K here, or 4.4. And he knows that, he has at least, 25% equity or so at worst.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, against like
At worst.
pocket.
Like the worst hand.
Yeah, pocket queens. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're still drawing pretty live. Yeah, yeah, and he is going to call it off. Let's see if we're going to go do the business or if we're just going to grip it and rip it.
I think you said one time.
Oh, just why not the nuts on the turn? And that's just stone over.
That's
as King Jack is going to get the job done. Jason
Nice hand.
going to give Justin the full double up. And that's just kind of a gross result
For
Jason. Like, he played that really well.
Jason had a really good understanding of what was going on and realized that his hand was probably best at the time and was going against some sort of draw.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get punished. I mean, fortunately, there were coin flip in there, but.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And he does show him the jacks, and I think Justin sort of now is like, oof, yeah, no, you knew exactly what was going on, and I was behind. But Justin does get bailed out, and he is going to drag that pot, a really healthy one at that, as this is going to do some serious damage to the accumulated stack of Jason. A little bit of disbelief there on the run out, but not running it more than once when you're in a coin flip type situation. Yep, they're going to get there a lot of the time, and you're just going to sort of look at it and wonder, why me?
Why, God? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Yep. If anybody else has any questions for myself or Steamdola here as we move into the final 10 minutes of the broadcast, we'd be happy to get to those as we are just 6 likes away from the 200 mark. So sure, we can creep across that finish line at least, if not all the way on up to the 250. With $10 straddle on, JL going to go ahead and fold. Almost knocks over his small pile of chips up on the rail.
The rail chips.
Yep.
I don't partake in the rail shuffling on this table, which does lend itself to be a rail shuffling table.
Yeah.
It's a very large surface.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, I really like this table
Yeah,
a lot.
very comfortable. You can take a nap. You can do a lot of things.
Steamdola's VPIP is 0%. He's in the one seat napping.
I'll still call.
Wow,
Flopping
Jason.
flushes.
All right, so one hand after getting put in a pretty tough spot, he's going to flop a flush.
Sammy just insta-snap like that? Is that what that was?
Oh, Sammy did. Yeah, he called back. Oh, no, and he's going to make a pair, the toppest of pairs. And Sammy is drawing dead, but thinks that he's just improved to potentially the best hand. And Jason now facing a donk lead from Sammy. And while it's tempting to just call and be like, all right, I almost like a min click here, given the stack size. It's a little bit weird. I don't advocate for the min click very often, but given the stack size here, it's almost like you can always just go for, and by min click I mean not exactly a min click, a little bit over, but
yeah, something.
He's gonna
250 or something.
He's lining up 450 here.
He's going pretty large.
I mean, this may actually just work perfectly because Sammy's
in
not
that
going
mode
anywhere.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess player dependent, and with Sammy in there, yeah, you need to go for max.
And I think he's just kind of going off like a physical tell as well. Sammy looks like he wants to be involved in this hand.
Yeah. Well, Sammy just hit what he thinks is the gin card on the turn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did he go all in and call?
Yeah. So Jason, one hand later after getting obliterated, is going to just double up his 1.1K. So all is not wrong with the universe for Jason. He's going to chip up nicely there, back up to 2.2K. And Sammy will move some chips over across the table there, getting himself down into the sub 1K territory.
There's been a couple of retribution hands today where it's like you faced a pretty tough one and then rebound with a big double up right after. A few times today.
Mike Youngblood here. He says the comment or the question about the shuffling machines, add it to the TCH chat bingo. Absolutely right.
I think the middle space is when does Dallas open, right? That's the middle, like, free space for bingo.
Yeah. When does the TCH Dallas stream start? Yeah, we don't have the what are the beige chips or the tan chips anymore because the tip chips have largely come off the table. We do have a few players that
use the $2 ones.
Like using the $2 tip chips. Like Vittorio, he's got a full barrel over there. I like that. Coming in ready to tip. And and Jaywin, he's got some lurking under the white chips back there as well. I tend to stick with just like the 1s and the 5s for the tipping, but I definitely see the value in the blue ones. Information for the Steamy. Oh, for your eyes only.
We just got word that there might be a mixed game in a little while.
Are you
Anybody wants
serious?
to come play some mixed with Steam Dola? Get it to TCH ASAP. Aaron's not allowed to play. He runs too good. I play against Aaron twice in mixed games, and he has the nuts every hand.
We play Aaron Makes Boat?
Aaron makes boats.
Yeah.
Aaron has all the boats. Aaron gets there and everything. Jeez.
JL here, top pair, top kicker, up against the spade flush draw of Jaywin. Betting a call of 60 on this flop. Ooh,
oh,
bingo.
That's a nice looking card.
Bingo. Jaywin locks up the hand with the king high flush. JL thinks he's got backup with the queen of spades, and that is not true. In fact, because you have the queen of spades, you're very frequently going to presume that your opponent does not have a flush. So you're going to be thinking that you may be up against like a king-queen or even a queen-jack type holding. Queen-jack maybe not going to keep betting here, but king-queen definitely could. Bet a 120, and yeah, JL can't go anywhere yet. And Jaywin is like, all right.
All right, a spade would be bad, but that's a blank, blank, blank.
Check from JL. 562 in the middle. Jaywin should go probably like half pot, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't want to bet too big and scare your opponent off of a one pair holding.
Right, we're targeting exactly ace queen, king queen.
The bridge ones at home or whatever with the bigger ones, I like
Very overbet.
Yeah, I'm not used to those.
We suck. JL snaps that
Wow.
off. Yeah. Target away. Target away, Jaywin.
My butt. Overbet the river. Get called by one pair.
Yeah.
I mean, having the queen of spades is a big.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but if your opponent doesn't have that, like they got ace
They have two
queen,
red
like
ones.
heart diamond,
Yeah, it's
they're
hard
like,
for them to call there.
Yeah.
Well, that was a value class from Jaywin.
It sure was. Jaywin has zigged and zagged, but right there, he definitely made the winning play, as I would have missed value.
That was a snap call too. I'm just, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bomb pot time.
One day till I leave town. I wish I could.
Stephen Tixay in the chat. What's up, brother? Mr. Delivery says he was playing in his local game, saw the 8 of spades, and realized just then that this game was streaming. Shout out to Aaron and its recent score. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate you giving me that shout out, and I appreciate you sweating me in the live stream. I appreciated going back and watching and seeing your comments in there. And man, it was so much fun to rewatch that because it's so funny how quickly people will turn against you when you get short. I was like the chip leader, and everybody was like, bow down, right? Like the commentators were giving me like a bunch of praise and everything. And then I lost a couple of those big flips, and I got short. And people were like, Aaron, he fucked up. He's on tilt. They were like saying I was on tilt.
I wasn't.
Yeah, and I freaking
I was like,
ground that
Aaron's
thing
still
out.
the best.
No, yeah, dude, you were in there. That was dope. Yeah, it was really cool to go back and see
That was
the
a
support.
cool. That was a really cool final table.
Yeah.
I just like that people see the 8 of spades while playing cards. I think Texas Card House. Texas Card House. Where?
Steam Dola, where?
Steam. Where is he?
As Johnny flopped the nut flush with all of the big spades. Just
Yeah,
takes
it's kind of hard for your opponents to have anything there.
That is true. But, never hate taking down the $90 in there. Just bet and take it.
Oh, really? Well, that's it. I know you want double suited. You want like.
Blake Clemens here. He's got a question. He says, "What do you call the overbet with, if not Ace Queen?" I mean, certainly yes. That played out very well for Jwin to have his opponent have exactly the Ace Queen, especially with the Queen of Spades, right? Like, I mean, that certainly factored into JL putting in the snap. I do wonder how JL would have responded had it been, you know, Ace of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts. But no matter, Jwin got max value there and did get the overbet paid off. So well done by him. Let's see here, Steven here. He says, chat was full of a bunch of people who couldn't beat the 1-2. You were fine. Oh yeah, no, I just loved going back and watching it and see how quickly it changed. And I mean, it's obvious that's just how it goes. But people always. Yes. Oh, GG, y'all. That's gonna do it. So we got some players racking up, and oh wait. No, sorry. This is a bomb pot? No, it was a bomb pot. So they look like they're playing another one. They're doing something else. This is not on the stream. Okay, well, that's going to do it for us. For myself, Aaron, AA Ron McAvoy, Steam Dola, super producer Carolyn, newest producer David, and all of the fine staff here at TCH Austin. We thank you guys for coming along for the ride. We had a great time, and we'll see you next time. So,
Arrivederci.
good night, y'all.